How's my fucking hair? Post it up, leaning against the wall. Yeah, you gotta get closer, way closer. That is dirty shower chair. Oh lordy. Why am I in the center of the picture? You're gonna have to turn. My fucking eye gets stuck like that. That'd be my luck, man. I have a stroke. It'd be like that. Just look for the guy that looks like Burt Reynolds. Are you guys smoking weed? Fuck. You know what? That sounds like a good idea right about now. I don't think anybody can hear shit I'm saying. Thank God for that. Don't tell mom Bobby burns left-handed cigarettes. I haven't smoked no weed since I came to the Philippines. They probably put you under the prison. Being there getting butt raped. You know how the girls like white guys, they must like white guys in prison too. Ain't no difference. Fuck that. I ain't finding out. Be making a serious phone call. Boo Boo Gabs, where you at? Got B Rat in here talking about, are you guys smoking weed? That's all I can see. 25 minutes. What? Late. Oh shit. Babe, hurry up. Hurry up. Babe. It already started?
Yeah.
Well, fucking come here.
When you're talking, that is already
Oh no.
started.
I didn't know it. See how I act when I thought the camera was off? I'm talking about going to prison in the Philippines for smoking some weed. B-Rad's talking about you guys smoking weed. I can only imagine it's probably Dane saying something in the 72 paper. Why can I not forget that number?
Here,
72 paper. John.
I can't understand this
That
camera.
number is stuck in my head. Listen, if you saw the way this setup is in the bed,
I think we don't need this chair.
and what are we gonna do? Babe, what are we gonna do if we don't have it on the chair? My wife's mad at me too.
But we're using the box.
The box? Where's the box gonna? My legs got to be like this, so I got these giant boxes in between my legs. That's good. Like I'm getting fucking bent open.
How about the
Virgin.
that one?
Babe, just let's get the live stream popping.
Mhm.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's just one of those days. Oh, shit. Testing. I don't even know if the mic's working. How's everybody doing out there? You got Jim Richards, you got Dane. What's up, Schick? How you doing, bro? What's new, Schick? Got B-Rad in the house. Oh, Jono. The Gestapo agent, right? That's an inside joke. Yeah, that's my heritage too, man. I'm a quarter German. Yeah, I was going through my grandmother's basement. Mom, if you're listening, I'm throwing us all under the bus. I found a set of lightning bolts and an SS uniform in my grandmother's basement. Mom swears I'm lying, but whatever. Oh, you guys can hear us. That's good. That's good, John. I'm glad to hear that. Me, I don't know. I just got an attitude today. I started bickering with the wife. You ever start an argument with somebody for no reason? That's what happened this morning. I started talking mad shit. I don't even know why. That's how the day got started. I guess I'm just irritable today. I'm on my period. Isla Drain. Babe. Unbelievable. What's the purpose of that? Oh my God. That's good, babe. It's one of those days today. I can just feel it. So what's new with everybody out there? Sorry about the camera moving all over the place. We're having operating difficulties. Nothing like trying to do a live stream from the bed. Bobby D just got out of the shower about 5 minutes ago and decided to do the live stream from the bed. Happy wife, happy life. Dude, no doubt. Yeah, I heard that one before. This is the first time I've been married though. I remember back in the day, I was ruthless, John. Girls start acting up. I'd be like, all right, be back later. That'd be it, right out the door. That's why I never got married. What's up, Gary Johnson? Good morning, bro. Babe, would you please come here? Dane, I'm sorry to hear about. Oh shit. What happened to mom? Dane. Oh man. Speaking of moms, John, I got to ask you a question. I've been avoiding this question. Mom and dad still alive? I've been wondering that. I remember fishing with your dad in Bear Pond up there by Lake Apacon in that rowboat. I think that's where we were at. And he was asking about my grandfather, Jim. He's like, what's your grandfather do for a living? I didn't know he was the head of the IRS over there in that Diamond Head building on Route 22. And then he got a job as the head casino, the head of the casino gambling investigators. So they were the guys from the IRS had the connection to follow the money trail to make sure there was no organized crime people in the casinos in Atlantic City. And he was like the head guy over the whole thing. This side. Ah, you want to squeeze it on that side? All right, listen, all them questions, just go to the end. That way we could catch up. Jim Richards is here. B Rad's here. Schick is here. Wait a minute. I got to read this about John's parents. Hold on a second. Just
Where?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about Dad, John. Damn, Dad. What happened to Dad? Heart attack? Please tell me it wasn't cancer. Everybody gets cancer in my family, and I just watch them shrink up to like 80 pounds, and they're moaning, and oh my God. I'm sorry to hear about Dad, John. Where does Mom live, Jonna? Is she still in Westfield? I dropped a note off one time at your house. I don't know if you ever got that note. That was a long time ago, probably about 20 years ago. Look at my wife's eyes. Filipinos be crying about anything. Hey, what's up, Tommy? What's happening, bro? How's it going?
What is 827?
Hmm?
What is 827? Barry said 827.
827. That's like code word 827. Maybe 927. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, Dane. Fuck. He said, "What the f? Hello." Yeah, I gotta watch my language. Tommy, I curse too much, like a drunken sailor. I've had that habit for years, and I don't even try to put a cap on it. Like when I meet somebody, for a while, I'll tone it down. Jim Rogers. We can, we all can go for the strangest things. The name Christine. Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Renosi.
Wait, one question at a time. Put the questions up. The name Christine Ranucci. Yeah, Ranucci sound familiar to you? Why? Yeah, why does that Christine Ranucci? Ranucci. Yeah, that sounds real familiar to me. You starting to make me nervous, bro. Christine Ranucci. Yeah, that's a Scotch Plains. That's a Scotch Plains or a Union County person or Berkeley Heights or something like that. Yeah, that sounds real familiar to me. All right, put up the next question. Tell me who that is, TK. My uncle was at Kmart, slipped, fell, chasing a shopping cart that got away from him, broke his hip and got an infection and died. My grandmother died like that. She got somebody bumped into her around Christmas time in the mall, and she went in a hospital with a broken hip. Jono, remember my grandmother that lived at 711 Stevens Avenue, right across the street from the Packards? The Packards were the people that lived on that corner that had that big house. Um, she broke her hip, went in the hospital, never came out again. They found she had pancreatic cancer, man. And she was in a cancer hospital in Philadelphia. Dad and me would go visit her. We'd take the train to get there, and it was just. She was 13 when I died. I remember seeing her in a casket, and my legs just went out. I fell on the floor. My relatives from down south, Indiana, came up to visit. My uncle Bob, my Bobby Gray, Charmaine, Francel, everybody came up, and all the kids. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was super close to my grandmother. Super good lady. It's a Jersey thing. All right, mum's the word. My goodness. That's a Jersey thing. It sure is. Don't tell nobody. Yes, usually a damn infection. Yeah, an infection. I got an infection now. I got another urinary tract infection. That's why I got a bad attitude today. I'm so tired of it. No, it's not like that. Okay. It's this lady. I I dated her from. All right, keep the comments going. I gotta figure out what's going on. Tommy's giving it to me 3 words at a time, like we're in a park and we're talking in code, and the guy touches his nose with this pinky ring on. I dated her from. Damn, I believe you guys. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. I thought that name sounded familiar. Yep, Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, man, and old school one. Check this out, Frank Lloyd Wright, or I think John Shakowski remembers there was remember that old abandoned school on Park Avenue across the street from Alfonso's Pizzeria and the Scotch Plains post office? That thing was boarded up for a long time. Like the old school kids, we went to old school one, then we went to the new school one, then wait, Park Junior High School. They changed the name to Park Middle School, and then Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. I believe you guys went. That's cool. That's a really nice town, TK. Scotch Plains, Fanwood. When I get Isla back to the United States, I wish I could live there. It's expensive, the rents and everything. It's a nice place. Yeah, where's your smile today? Thanks for pointing out, JR. Hey, what's up, Melvin? What's going on, bro? How'd you like that video I sent you last night? Raymond was over here babysitting me because they don't never like to leave me alone. Maybe I'll burn down a house or something. So, and I started getting mad at my sister Ramy. I tell you what, my stomach started hurting this morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I've been awake ever since. I was like, damn, Ramy came over here sick and gave me a freaking stomach virus. I was calling you every name in the book. But guess what? I'm all right now. So you're off the hook. Hey, Barry from Panorama City. We were just talking about you the other day. Isla said, isn't that cool how Barry always makes an announcement from Panorama City, California? Say the word panorama. One day I'm going to Panorama City, California. That place sounds nice. There's a reason they named it Panorama City. Barry Press, is that up in the mountains? It's elevated so you get a view. Why did they name it Panorama City? I get UTIs all the time. Yeah, you know how it is, bro. I've been fighting it for 5 years. One of these times, it's just going to take me out because it seems like it's progressively getting antibiotic resistant. I already got that type of bacteria. Still going to see. Excellent. Sounds like a McDough. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, we had if you guys saw the video, Benny and the Jet showed up and we hung out for the day. Benny's cool.
What do you mean by 3rd? January?
Yeah, he's coming here on the 3rd, February.
February?
Yeah, he's coming on. He's a time traveler. He's going to go back. Ask it. All right, let me stop. My wife's already mad at me. Ask a dumb question.
Well, can you continue?
It's Bobby and the angel.
Bobby is late.
Yeah, the other angel disappeared on it. Angel with no S.
Without S.
The other angel was here yesterday. Ray
Bobby
LeBarn
and
Nixie's shy to me. Figure that one out. She sent Ray LeBarn over here to do the dirty work. She needed her passbook to pay for her next semester. Yo, Nix, you need to come over and get that book and stop being so damn shy. Nix thinks I'm mad at her. I'm not mad at you, Nix. And if I do get mad, yes, my rich uncle lives there. Wow. Damn, TK, you got an uncle in Scotch Plains? That's cool. How long's he lived there for? Watch me know your uncle, too. You know, the last name King, I've met a couple people. I met somebody in Florida with the last name King. And, man, they were good people, but, like, into some crazy stuff. I really can't talk about it. Yeah. I think his name was it Tom? Or no, couldn't have been. Ella looks like she wants to learn how to play softball. Dane said, Dane, I'm sorry about mom, bro. What happened with the cyst? It was a cyst in her ovary, or if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay too. What happened? Hold on. Isla looks like she wants to learn how to play softball with the bat. Use Bobby. Yeah. beat my. That's what we used to back in the day. That place that TK's talking about where I grew up, we used to always carry a bat, a glove, and a ball in the car in the back seat. And the cops ever stop you, you'd be like, I played baseball. I don't know how many dings were in that bat from people's craniums, but it was a couple. All right, Mel. I was wondering if you're gonna see Ramy. Ramy's English isn't that good, but I knew you understood what she was saying, so that was cool. What's what's new, Melvin? How's mom and dad doing? They taking good care of you over there? Melvin, you're in Brooklyn, right? I was talking about you the other night, Mel. I was telling Isla when we go visit, when I get Isla back to the United States, we're coming to visit, Mel, and you're gonna come out of that apartment. And I might even bring a girl with me. I'll hook you up, Mel. We'll all go out on a date. We'll go to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, an Italian restaurant. We're going to Brooklyn. I call it Crooklyn. Don't get mad. It's a joke. Yeah, she does. Yeah, yeah, she's mad. Panorama, the 818. I'm in the 616 area code. How far? Ron McDough, how far is Panorama City from where you're at? If you were driving, I'm feeling better. Yes. Oh, it's in the valley. Oh, so you're down low and you're looking up at the mountains all the way around. Wow. So if you're in the valley, you got the mountain view. My mother's got John Shikowski. Check this out. Mom lives in Stewartsville, New Jersey. And you know the mountains that run along 78 down there by that weight station that they got disguised as a like an old school railroad yard or something. I don't know. It doesn't even make sense. By Bloomsbury exit, I think it's 137 on 78 to exit, or am I thinking of Cranford off of Parkway? I forget the exit number, but mom lives by Bloomsbury. It's Stewartsville, New Jersey. And in her backyard, when you sit on the back deck, she's got a mountain range view. It's like this long mountain that runs all the way along 78 in that area. It's super nice. That sounds nice, Barry. Down in the valley. So you looking up, are you looking up at mountains and everything? Babe, say something. Say something. Are you mad at me? Do you forgive me? All right, next question. Look at the cameras bouncing all over the place. Babe. Find that video I was watching before.
What do we do?
Did you expect your friend to find wait? Did you wait, hold on a moment. Gary's asking, did your expert friend find love of his life? Is he an expert? Why are you calling him an expert? Does he know everything? I don't you talking about Benny and the Jets? Benny, the guy that came to visit? I don't know. He was asking, did your expert friend? Dan, why is he calling him an expert? Or is this something I said? Probably something my wise ass said. Wise ass said. Huh? He's talking about, he said he called him an expert.
What?
Did
There's
you're
nothing wrong with that.
an expert? I'm an amateur. Amateur hour. That's what we used to call it we used to call it on a job. I remember one time some guy was like talking all this bagumbo or all this bula bula, like they say in the Philippines. And I said, shut up with your amateur hour ass. And somebody said, Bobby, what'd you call him? I said, I called him amateur hour. And they just thought that was hysterical. All right, Barry Press said, true, a suburb of Los Angeles called the Fernando Valley. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, I've heard of the San Fernando Valley. They grow a lot of vegetables down there, don't they? Tons. That's a nice place, man. Where's that wine place? That world famous wine place in California. Always hear about it. Is that close to there? I'm from North Hollywood, but live in the Philippines. I'm here in the 611 visiting. Be back in the Philippines on the 27th. Wait a minute. I thought he said he was on the 3rd. Oh, we're going to meet up on the 3rd. Sounds good. I got to get it right. Hang loose. That'll work. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I got somebody that sounds like my family. Oh, the guy, yeah, the wild guy I met in Florida with the last name King. Yeah, he was out of control. He was young now. Let's just say he was a cook and he wasn't cooking food and he got caught up in a bunch of bullshit. It was crazy. I was like, wow. Tell Nix when I come to Cebu. What's up, Monk MK? Tell Nix when I come to Cebu, I'm gonna be her new man and we're gonna have a bunch of little monks running around. All right, you got it. I'll tell her when I see her. I'll be like, yo, the monk's looking for you. Can't miss him. He's dressed in orange. I got mad respect for the monks that live up in the mountains in Tibet and all that stuff. I got mad respect for them. And the Dalai Lama, their whole religion, everything. Mad respect. They don't bother nobody. And they're, what? Go back one. I was playing pool in Burbank. Wow, okay, Burbank, California. Did you win? And how good are you? Yeah, most people won't brag. My son got shot on a home invasion. Damn, in Orlando, Florida. Oh, what? So he was shot by somebody. Yeah, Florida's kind of crazy, man. I met this guy. I could talk about it now because he's probably on like his 20th year. Bobby Angeletti, this Italian kid, tied up a family of people, did a home invasion, and they were raping a lady while the husband and the kids were watching. I was like, dude, you are the biggest fucking scumbag ever. Why are you telling me this? He's a piece of dirt. What happened to your son when he was shot? Where did he get shot at? Like what part of his body? Not that that matters, but that's crazy. You're just minding your business in your house. Next thing you know, you hear a loud bang, the doors comes off the hinges, and you got like 3 or 4 clowns in your house pointing guns at you. That's why you got to have big ass dogs like pit bulls, German shepherds, Rottweilers, cane corsos, you name it, bull mastiffs, the whole 9 yards. I used to always, back in my day when I had like valuables and stuff, I had some giant pit bulls, and the cops are like, if we ever get a call to your house, we're not even coming because you got a football team of pit bulls, and we're not even showing up. I said, nah, I got it under control. There's nothing like somebody trying to pull an home invasion and your dogs start ripping them apart. I'm going to take my sweet old time calling. I don't even think I might not even call the police because that happened. Somebody broke into my house and they were pulling on a radiator, whatever you want to call it. It was an old school house. What made me wake up was it had storm windows in the house. and I heard the storm windows squeaking. They were standing on a cinder block, and we were on the first floor, and a guy reached in the window and was trying to pull himself in. He grabbed onto the radiator, and my dogs were trained not to bark. And TNT, Thai Nitro Tiani, when I said watch him, she jumped up and grabbed him by the shoulder, and the cinder block fell out from underneath him. So he was hanging like 18 inches up in the air with a 135-pound pit bull locked onto his shoulder, and then Junior, the pick of the litter, grabbed onto his forearm, and it ripped the tendons and a big chunk of his muscle out of his arm. So all that was bunched up down by it was horrific. And eventually I told the dogs to let go, and they did. And they found that guy in the emergency room. They're like, "You want to press charges?" I said, "Absolutely not, because he'll never be able to use his I think it was his left arm again." And he never got in. He never stole anything, but he was breaking in our house. All right, hold on, stop. No, she had a cyst on the crack of her butt. That's a pineal cyst. My dad had one, and when it popped, I'm sleeping. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Shit. Big Dave's here. We were talking about Big Dave the other night. Big Dave, where are you from again? Please don't tell me New Jersey, because I'm going to fall out of this bed. I don't think it's New Jersey, because if it's who I think it is. She was rushed by an ambulance. They operated, and she coded out for a while, and her brain stopped. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Dane. How old was mom? That's my worst fear, my mother dying. Fuck.
By the way, BTW.
By the way, Bobby, if you know a good private driver, that's Daryl, successful. And well, he doesn't have an accessible. If you watch the videos, you see how I get in and out of the van. What do you think of that, Ron? Or does it have to be like a lift in the van? And she would let me know the guy I get is low key charging a grip. Charging a grip. Yo, that's like New York, New Jersey slang. A grip. What's a yard when somebody says, "Yo, you owe me a yard"? Charging a grip. That's probably 100, right? A grip. Jim Richards. Cypress, is that Florida or California? Damn, I got a friend that disappeared in Cypress Gardens, Florida. What's the backstory for Panorama City? Yeah. What was it a long time ago? You know what's cool about history? Like it's crazy. You could be living somewheres, and then you go back like say 100 years, and you find out like all kinds of. I lived by this place called Taylor Wharton, and I worked in a company called Custom Alloy. And Taylor Wharton used to make cannonballs for the freaking Civil War. So this factory that I worked at was like super freaking old. And when I was digging around underneath my house in High Bridge, New Jersey, I found like 4 cannonballs. And this thing was set down in the valley, and it had a rim. It looked like it was in the center of a dormant volcano. So it was like Panorama City. It was down in the valley. And the reason they put this factory down there was the Indians were fighting with the Confederate soldiers or the Union soldiers or whatever. So that's why they put it there. That was like the backstory for High Bridge, New Jersey. I'm in Santa Clara. It's about 15 minutes away. All right, 15 minutes away from Panorama City. Are you in with the bathrobe look today?
I don't feel like wearing these clothes.
Who was saying just get naked last time?
They
Yeah, Dane said just take off
because
your
what
clothes.
happened to that?
Because of the signal was bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Boo Boo Gabs looks different today.
Shouldn't
Oh, fuck.
she could not breathe on her own. She was in a coma.
Mm.
And on life support, the doctors made it clear even if she makes it, she will never be the same and need to be on breathing machine. Oh, like what? Who is that guy that is like on a big?
No, it was the iron lung. It's
Okay.
different. Coma's where you're. I'll explain it later.
No, what I mean is she need to like breathe.
Not a breathing machine. It's a ventilator.
Okay.
It breathes for you.
Hello, Miguel.
Miguel Ben. What's up, Miguel Ben? How you doing?
Hello from Davao, new viewer. Could you explain your relationship with each of the angels? I haven't been able to figure it out.
Okay. The one next to me is my wife. We got married online. We had a long distance relationship for about 4.5 years until I wound up coming over to the Philippines. I married somebody online. Don't ever think about doing this, or don't send a lot of money. I sent money, but not like ridiculous amounts. All right, can I spill the beans about mom and dad in the house? So I was in the stock market a little bit, and I bought some Bitcoin at a low level because I knew it was going to blow up. And I rode that up to like the 60s, from 3,000 up to the 60s. So I had a little bit of extra money floating around. So I built Isla's mom and dad a house out in the province, and had a long distance relationship with Isla. I met her on Facebook. Nixie, the youngest one, is Isla's youngest sister, and Ramey's the oldest.
I
Ramey's
am in the middle.
Isla's monkey in the middle.
Okay, box.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So that it's just my sister-in-laws. I got two beautiful sister-in-laws, and then the wife, and they're all cool. Thank God, I got lucky. It's always because when you marry a Filipina woman or man nowadays, you're going to marry the whole family. So you don't want to marry into, listen, this is another piece of advice. If the family's crazy, you better think twice about marrying into the family, a Filipino family, because they're going to be asking you for money all the time. Or if they're into whatever it is, it's going to affect you. I don't care what anybody says. You could try to like move far away. That's what they always say too. Don't live too close to your. I got no problem with my mother and father-in-law. They're good people, so it's a good thing. Next question. No backstory. It's just called Panorama. Nice view of the hills. Excellent. Thank you for
Panorama is
explaining
in
that.
the mountains.
It's down in the valley, so they got a view. Like when you look around, you could see like mountains. You know, how, like when you just look out and it's just flat land. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Think about when we were in Lovey in the Sky. Imagine living up there, and every time you go out in your yard or walk outside, that's what you're seeing. It's got like an excellent view. Yes, I could. Barry Press said, "Yes, I can see the mountains, but far from me." Well, that's cool. At least you could see them, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, one angel.
Yeah, Jim Richards, only one today.
Yeah.
The other ones are MIA. Ramey was sick. I think Ramey had food poisoning, And Isla Googled the place they went, and first thing I said is, "Oh, you can't go there." I started laughing. I hate to be laughing at somebody. I wasn't laughing because my sister was sick. I was laughing because I was looking at the place and I was like, "Isla, would you ask me, would you eat there?" I said, "Oh, hell no, I'm not eating there. It's cheap food, but you might pay the price." What's that meat? What's that meat called that they dig out of the garbage and then they cook it in like a cauldron of like they make like a stew out of it and then they resell it? Wow. I go, well, you got to do what you got to do. If you're super poor, it's either that or starve. Somebody was asking me if I would ever eat that. Absolutely not.
Dumb.
Damn voice to text expat.
Yes, I can see them,
You read that question already.
but they're far away. Mhm.
Friend.
Did your friend Ben find his love? What you think?
Victor Robert. What's up, Vic? Good question. He was asking me what's the secret. All right, I'll give you a tip. Don't be cheap. That's one of the things. You can't be cheap. Then he's probably gonna get pissed when he hears that. He was asking me some cheap ass questions. He said, "I don't mean to sound like I'm cheap." Well, I hate to inform you, but what you were asking me, the cheap alert went off. It was about a cab ride or something. We're talking like minuscule amounts of money. You got to think about it. I had to break them off proper over here. I wanted to change. Listen, when I got sick and had the accident, I made it a point that I was going to change a family's life for the better, and they'll never forget me as long as they'll be talking about this for a while. So that was that. And think about it. I'm sick out of my mind. The pandemic hit. Nobody was showing up to help me out. Like the people that were supposed to be there weren't showing up. So I'm bribing these people. I'm giving them, they're getting paid. I'm giving them like 50 or $100 extra on top of it. If I didn't have money, understand that. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Siri. So the bribery shit's going on. I'm trying to get to the Philippines. The Philippines is not opening. It was horrible. I was on a ton of pain medication when I was in a nursing home, and when I got my apartment, they just cut me off cold turkey. So now I'm detoxing for like 4 months. I was sick out of my mind, shitting all over the bed, throwing up for the first month, and after that, it was like a rough ride. Nobody's showing up. It was horrible. That's when I went from the nursing home to the apartment, thinking I was only going to be there a couple months. And then all of a sudden I heard the word pandemic. I said, "You got to be kidding me." Because my version of pandemic is where 80 to 90% of the people you know die. I thought that was coming. Nothing in San Fernando Valley, just ordinary place and
Nice.
smoggy. Is that pollution smog? Are you okay now? Hmm? Tampo,
Tampo.
Tampo Tone. Hmm? Napa Valley, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Ario Pablo Alto. That Pablo Alto, there's a security company called Pablo Alto something. I'm saying it wrong.
Hello. Palo.
Palo Alto.
That must be. Bobby set up a station
Yeah, I
head
saw
tunnel
that. Go ahead.
on the what do you call that? Uh, Apple. What is that?
That's the name. If you have a Tommy was saying if you have a Spotify account
Spotify.
or I like YouTube music. Bobby set up a station head channel, have all these views, download the app, super easy to do. You can have real time, just like with music, and chat 24/7 for nothing. Okay. I'll check into that. I saw that the other day when you sent the message. Hey, happy birthday, bro. I didn't forget. Late train drain. What is it? 3 days ago, your birthday?
Better late than never.
Wait a minute. Who's my father's birthday is on the 18th. What
The
day?
same with Sir Darrell.
Daryl's birthday, that's the driver. My father's birthday and Thomas King's birthday is all within 2 days of each other. Nice area up that way, Gary.
Monk. Person orange. What is that?
That's the color that the monks wear in prison, orange.
Okay.
Orange, the orange jumpsuits. Yeah, my ex-wife.
Gary. Yeah, my ex-wife was from Palo Alto.
I'll never forget when you told me about your ex-wife. She had the big bazabies,
Mercedes.
artificial bazabies.
Ron, agriculture in San Fernando. She's a big ass super. And
Okay,
I'm okay, we'll play when I get there.
excellent.
San Fernando.
I'm looking forward to meeting you, Ron. Redwood Forest. Now that's nice. Up there in the mountains, them redwood trees. The governments want to cut all the shit down. The federally protected forest.
I'm good, Bobby. I'm picking for a Ventura Dance Cruise on February 3 to 7 Rock Caribbean Cruise Bill over the seas. Oh, so it's going.
Yo, I'm worried about you being stuck in a damn apartment and you're going on a cruise. I'm good, Bobby. I'm picking for Adventura Dance Cruise on February 3rd to the 7th, so that's 4 days. Royal Caribbean Cruise Jewel of the Seas. Wow. Yo, that sounds like fun, Magic Player, aka Melvin. That sounds like fun, bro. I'm glad you're going. Don't kiss all the girls and make them cry. Leave a couple for me. Oh, shit, where he was shot, babe.
Oh my God.
3 millimeters from his heart and one in the neck. Yeah, they didn't want to operate because it's too close to something.
So they're flying in the ambulance and once again on the operating
Holy
table.
shit, man. He's lucky to be alive. Yo, that sounds crazy, Tom. You know what 3 millimeters is? You know what look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, God was,
so close.
yo, that's when people say you're not going until it's your time. Is as much cursing as I do and just whatever it is. I feel like I'm super close to God. I always had this connection. You could ask John Chikowski. We're always in the woods. And who created nature and the woods and animals and everything in it? Bobby D and John Chikowski live in the woods. At least that's where we're happy at. That's my spot is in the woods. If my legs were working, I would live up in a hut on an island with like no people, and we would have to do like 3 months shopping at a time if the legs were working, because I'm super close to nature. So back to the story. When it's your time, it's your time. There's no stopping it. Your son, TK, your son's super lucky, man. 3 millimeters from the heart and one in the neck. Good God. What an asshole. Who goes into somebody's house like that? Home invasion. I tell you what, I hope that, let me just stop talking. You already know what I'm thinking, TK. I can't even say it. I'm scared to talk. Those people's family that did that?
Light that fire.
Oh, they all fucking died.
Chuck Jordan bounty life in the
Chuck Jordan bounty in the life in the Philippines. Wow. Thanks for being here, Chuck Jordan. I'll be in Dumaguete February 3rd to the 15th.
LMT. What is that? If you're in the area around that time,
Do
let
them
me
again. Let
know.
me know. All right, I will. Remind me though. Remind me. Do Maggie's all right? Like they had that thing with the expats happen. Some clowns went after this Marine with brass knuckles and a gun, and he took the brass knuckles away from one of the clowns and beat the living shit out of somebody. And then he was like posing with them.
Ah,
Like you know
yeah,
how
I've
you
had
go
before.
hunting and you get like a 12 pointer or 13 pointer, and you sit there and pose with it. Some dude was all bloodied up, and he's like, "Yo, look what I got! I bagged this dude," and he's like unconscious and bleeding everywhere. That's just that's embarrassing as hell, man. To go there with three people and still get all your asses kicked. I want to meet the Marine that did that. I'd be like, dude, I'll buy you a drink. Dane Lionheart, Jim, I have seen a few fires like that. Many think the fires are set to get rid of some. There it is. Homeless people so they can sell or rebuild the.
The
Dane, I
lightning
think
or
you're
the
right.
wind.
It's like all right, I don't want to offend nobody. Jewish lightning, the shit is set on purpose because the government, or they're polluting, like they got a river and people are throwing garbage in there, and then when it floods everything, like the pipes get clogged up, or I don't know, they're dumping the sewage in there, so there's a problem, so they purposely set the neighborhood on fire. The poverty in the Philippines is on another level. It's I've been around a little bit, so it doesn't affect me as much as some people. But you'll see things over here that are just like it's on a whole nother level. Like little kids starving and shit. Their heads look too big for their body, and it's sad. Yo, Sean A, what's up, bro? What's going on in the building? That all right, let's get this party started, right? Let's get this. If you can see the shirt I got on here, I don't even know what it means, but it's got something to do with music.
Triple five.
You know where I got this shirt? Listen, I got all this. If you ever seen Nixie wearing that skull sweatshirt, that skull sweatshirt is like a $300 sweatshirt, and I got all these fancy T-shirts that cost like 80, $95 a piece. I met a crew of guys, and they were doing retail therapy. They were all addicted to drugs, and they would rob stores. And I was like, you guys are out of control, man. You guys are out of control. But check this out. I went into this store one day, right? They were like, point out what you want for Christmas. I said, nah, I'm good. They kept pressuring me. So I was like, yo, I want that. This thing over there. That thing over there looks pretty cool. And then, like a week later, somebody showed up with this big ass box and all that stuff that I was pointing out. It was in there. These people were terrible. They would go into the store and grab the whole rack. Like shit would be chained together and they would just go right out the door. I'm like, yo, you guys, and they had been caught, some of them multiple times. That's that heroin, man. The heroin's bad news. If you ever want to see what heroin does to people, just Google Kensington, Philadelphia, and you'll be like, what? I showed it to my mother one day. I'll say, you want to know how bad the heroin epidemic is, the opioid thing, whatever you want to call it, is in the United States? And I showed her Kensington, and she's like, "What's wrong with those people? Why are they just like bent over and like they're all like stuck? They look like statues." I said, "They're nodding out. That's that heroin, man. It's everywhere, and it's cheap. Now it's all fentanyl. You can make it in a laboratory, and people are dropping like flies." Anyway, all right. Ron said, "I can stand and semi walk,
So it's
so
fine.
it's fine.
I want to
We want
visit.
to visit a safari."
I
Hold
don't
on. We
know.
want to visit a safari. I don't know. My girlfriend knows what
That's about.
that's about, safari and drive around Wapu Wapu. Is the safari got those monkeys and shit?
Yeah, like animals, zebra.
Are you an
Um,
expert?
no, I'm not.
Are you gonna hold a snake? You held a snake in the mall. Remember that?
Yeah,
Yo, I was so proud. She was shaking.
that's my first time holding the snake because, like, even if I am just looking with an what do you call that, earthworm, I feel like I am die. I die.
Yo, Isla told me she was scared of worms, like a night
Even if
crawler.
it's so small, I am so scared with worms. That's my weakness. Oh my
I'll eat some worms.
god. That's why I am so like, oh my god, I can't believe I touched that snake.
That was cool. You
Mhm.
got over your fear, man.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Did you think snakes were slimy, or you realized they were smooth? They got
Yeah, that's what
scales.
I. Yeah, that's what I.
You thought they were slimy?
Mhm.
Worms are slimy.
Worms.
Yes, like
Yeah,
earthworms.
earthworms. Like,
They're
oh
slimy.
my god.
They got like goo on them. That's so they can slide underground.
If they're like, there's an earthworm like crawling, I
Worms
feel
feel like
like
they got KY jelly on
I feel like oh my, I
them.
can't.
TMI, right? All right, Larry P.
Sounds
Sounds
like
sounds. You read the question.
sounds like we both got into Bitcoin at the same time. Would you consider talking more about investing in the channel?
I thought about it, Larry, but I'm worried. Like if I give somebody some stock tips, like I say, trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to drop some inside. Let me not say inside because I don't need to be in silver bracelets. Just trying to drop some information on you. I wish I had some inside information. How about Martha Stewart? She sold out of some stock. I don't remember what the stock was. They put her ass in federal prison. Oh my God. But you know what? If I was her and like something bad was getting ready to happen with that company, I would be like, yo, you better tell me when something's gonna hit, when the shit's gonna hit the fan, because I'm unloading everything. I was into the SPACs back when 2020 hit. I was into the SPACs. I was getting in at like 1050, 1075 a share because they all start about 10. And man, I tell you what, it was crazy money. Company called Lucid, that SPAC went to 57. And then that battery company, that SPAC, what the hell was the name of that one? That shit went to like 100, and it was just the stock market in 2020 was the Wild West. Companies had crazy valuations. People did not care. It was momentum trading, meme trading. I mean, like nothing made sense. And when I started picking up on that, and a bunch of YouTubers popped up out of nowhere, J Mac Investing, that's when I got into the SPACs. And the government came out, the guy that's in charge of Wall Street, he put out a bad article about SPACs. I'll give you an example. DWAC. When I got an alert, check this out. You're not gonna believe this. I can't tell you how much money I make because I don't want to get in trouble. Um the Donald Trump SPAC, when they said SPACs are back, I got an alert on my phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I said, fuck this. I started drinking coffee. I got all wound up. The minute, the minute I was able to buy that SPAC for it was a digital acquisition digital acquisition world something. It was called DWAC. It was the Donald Trump SPAC. Oh my God. I didn't even hesitate. I won't even tell you how many shares of that shit I bought because it would make your head spin. I just said, you know what? That was it. I made more money in 5 hours than most people make in 2 years. It was insane money. And I'm not bragging. And if I would have held it, if I would have held that, I'm so mad at myself. This is the thing about the stock market. You can have no emotional connection to your stocks. You have to have an entry plan and an exit plan, and don't let your emotions get in the way. And you have to have plan B just in case something goes wrong. Use stop limits, stop losses, whatever you want to call them, because you can lose huge amounts of money. It's a dangerous place, man. You could lose everything. It's not for, if you're a gambler type person, don't fuck with it. You'll lose everything. So me, I don't like gambling. I don't like casinos. I never played cards. It's total, and you got to do your own due diligence. Don't believe that clown. Who's that guy that Mad Money or whatever his name is? That dude used to be a short. He worked for a hedge fund and learned both sides of the market. See, I was irritated. I couldn't short the stock market on the way down. All right, I'm done talking about stocks. See what y'all did?
Yeah, she got them.
Yeah, she got them done in Puerto Rico. I remember you telling me that, Gary, and they look like shit. They look good in a bathing suit or a dress, but when you're looking at them totally naked, like, yo, come on. Believe me, I've seen a million of them because I used to work in a couple different go-go bars. This guy picked me to work. He had a Club Feminu, Club Seikos, and it's Kona Street. If you look up Kona Street, it runs behind the Ala Moana Shopping Center on the island of Oahu. And I had all these maintenance contracts. That's when they had the voice pagers. And I would get like pages like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to wake up. I had a regular job too, working for Aqua Enterprises. And it'd be like a Sloan valve in the bathroom and it's flooding the bathroom. And I have to go to the go-go bar and I charge a guy $100 just to show up. And then I had tools there. I bring tools with me. And I had like a closet full of different shit like valves, lights, whatever it was. And this guy Charlie, he was Taiwanese, and he said, "Bobby, the reason I like you is you don't get caught up with the women here. You just come in and do what you got to do." But I remember one time I was underneath the plexiglass stage, and they had three girls dancing at the same time on the stage. And what it was the lights. They had these different fluorescent colored lights blinking on and off underneath the stage. And I'm looking up, and I had a flashlight, and somebody was like, I had to get access through the kitchen. There was access to get on. It was a huge stage. I'm under there, like looking up. I did get kind of caught up that night because the view was good from being underneath, and I'm shining a light. It was plexiglass, the stage. So I'm shining a light up, and these girls' coochies are lighting up, and some dude yelled out, "Where's that light coming from?" And the girl yelled out, "There's a guy down below." And then I came out with the toolbox and everybody started clapping. But anyway, all right, enough of that. We're in Cebu, Miguel. I like that name, Miguel. I knew a Miguel down in Miami, and then one of the bridge guys, one of the Brazilians, and one of the Greeks. I think there was a Greek too, Bobby D and Mac 10. Yep.
And Chris.
There you go, bro. Hey, Magic Player, you're a good looking guy. I was showing Raimi that picture of you in that tuxedo and your head's like on an angle. Looking good, bro. Looking like Elvis Presley. That was one of my nicknames back in my younger days. I live in the Philly suburbs. Victor Roberts. I live in the. How many people we got in here? Wow, we got 21. All right, raise the roof. Thank you for being here. Made my day. I'm starting to come back to life. We got any cold coffee?
Yes.
Can I get a cup? Let me get a little bit extra sugar.
Coffee?
Yeah, Isla looks different today. I think I pissed her off. She's mad at me. Fuck it, she'll get over it. I love my wife. I can't believe I'm married. All right, Victor Roberts says, I live in Philly. You know, Philly's a cool place. So he's going to know about what I was talking about earlier. It's a fucking disaster. I'm sorry about the language, but that's what it is. And you know what Iowa said? First thing Iowa said is, "What? Why don't the police do something? Yo, what can you do? You can only put so many people in jail. People go to rehabs, they get tuned up, and they come out and they go right back to it. That shit's pretty addictive, man. It's no joke. That's why it's just better never to get started with that shit. You know, smoking a little bit of weed is one thing, and alcohol could catch you off guard too. I live in Philly suburbs. This is from Victor Roberts. What you see on the video of Kensington doesn't do justice to just how bad it really is. Yep, it is a zombie land. Yo, it's bad. It's a. All right, you want to know the way to kill a bunch of people? So I remember we're fighting the Taliban or whatever. We're always in the Middle East, right? How do you get the United States back? You flood the country with a bunch of heroin, and you got a bunch of zombies floating around, and they're just standing on the corners, and it's horrific, man. That shit's bad news. Heroin ain't no joke. What makes it no joke? See, I was trying to explain it to my mother. Think about, well, I guess if you're a chronic alcoholic, you need a drink to stop the delirium tremens, to keep your nerves from overactivating because you got signals bouncing all over the place. So you have the delirium trends to start hallucinating. So you got to have a drink. That takes years to get like that from drinking. The heroin, you'll get sick. This is the bad part about heroin. You could be on heroin for a month, 1 month, 30 days. Do heroin for 30 days and try and stop that shit. You're going to be so sick you ain't going to be able to see straight. It feels like you got the flu times 10. And this is the bad part. Sniff one bag of that heroin and you'll feel like you won the lottery. And then the cycle starts all over again. That shit's a nightmare, man. All right, I got to wait for Isla to come back. Bobby D has done a little bit of everything. I tell you what, if anybody's thinking about trying that shit, don't even fucking waste your time. It's bad news all the way around. And did I ever try it? Well, you already know. I'm no angel. That's for sure. That's already been established. I think they should legalize all drugs. Make when you make something illegal, then the problem starts. I'm trying to move over. Now I'm all like kinked up looking. Once you make it illegal, you just. I heard there's a lot of drugs over here, and I was watching this thing about Thailand and 60 Minutes Australia. Yo, they got these. You don't want to get caught in Thailand. This guy said, if you get caught with 6 kilos of cocaine in Australia, you do 5 years. I'm like, my God, 6 kilos, that's a lot. He got caught with like half a key or half a berg. We used to call it a berg down in Florida. He got caught with half a berg and he's doing like a triple life sentence in the something dragon prison in Thailand. Man, I tell you what. Woo! That's why I don't even mess around. Somebody'd be like, "Want to smoke some of this weed over here in the Philippines?" I'll be like, "Yo, get away from me, you drug addict." How could you be smoking that weed? I'll be like, I don't even want to talk to you, man. I'll just keep going. I'll be like this. I don't think so. Unless I'm on the top. I said I smoked weed with my father-in-law. We were on. Look at Isla. I don't think Dad don't burn a left-handed cigarette. My father-in-law is a badass. What's up, Richie? Yo, yeah, that's what you think. But anyway, my father-in-law, yo, he's a badass. I could tell you stories about him, but I'm just keep my mouth shut. And mom said, all right, my mom here in New Jersey said, or here in New Jersey, right? I'm halfway around the planet right now. Mom said, you better be careful over here. I started laughing. I said, yo, we got a rebel in the family. Yo, my my father-in-law over here, he'll chop your ass up. That's why y'all want to talk about Nixie. You ain't got to worry about this one. You got to worry about Richie. You don't know what he looks like. Woo! All right, good luck on that one. I'll be like, yo, we gotta get the boat fired up. Like, what's in that blue tarp? I'll be like, don't even worry about it. You already know what's in there. All right, next question. I'm sorry I'm slacking. Old Jono's out in the woods. I was watching John's videos. He's out walking around in the woods. Apparently, the safari. This is Ron McDough. Yo, I like your handle too, Ron McDough, Ronald McDonald, and got the what do you call it? The Ronald McDonald. Yep, image. Apparently, the safari is like an hour away from Cebu or something. Is the driver capable?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me? Hey, Ron, you want me to call him? I tell you what, I'm going to give you all his information. When this live stream is done, I'm going to send you a message with his phone number, a screenshot of his Facebook stuff, and you could send him a message on Messenger. I'm going to send you his Messenger profile. Get a hold of Darrell, and he's good to go. You don't have to worry about him ripping you off. You don't have to worry about him lying to you. You don't have to worry about him overcharging you. No horse shit at all. He's good to go. You don't have to worry about leaving like expensive stuff laying around. He was talking about somebody came over here on vacation and they were cheap. So they wound up getting on a jeepney. They were trying to save money. And you ain't getting on no jeepney with like an iPad and you're not paying attention, yo, somebody's going to steal your shit. So that's just the way it goes. I highly recommend Darrell. Speaks good English. He's smart. I've been dealing with him. I got so lucky. Got to the airport in the LDR with Isla. Didn't have a plan. I didn't even care if I just it was my last day at the airport. So I got to the airport, saw my wife for the first time. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Beep, 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 beep. All right, let me stop talking.
Let's continue.
Daryl's your man. Oh, you're eating. All right, that's cool. It's all good, man. Next week, we're gonna have a couple angels, and then Pumpkin was asking, "Am I an angel now?" So check out the advertisement for this live stream, and she was saying, "Well, what's my weapon?" One's got a fake, one's got a gun, one's got a knife, the other one's doing karate, right? Pumpkin, your weapon is your body.
I told her I
You
sent
use
a
your
text.
body like a weapon. And check this out. You lure the guy in and then it's over. He made a fatal mistake. I was watching this vlogger. I'm gonna find out he's over there with the Yakuza, the Japanese syndicate. Back in my day when I was living in Hawaii, I used to party with these guys, and they were the best. I don't care what anybody says. The Japanese Yakuza, yo, they got some serious honor, and I had a blast with these guys. They were funny. My goodness. All right, go ahead. Next question. I'm gonna find out who that is. We're watching that this morning.
You told Ron McDonald about the
I'm gonna.
lobby
I
in the
said,
sky.
tell them about that.
Yeah.
Just watch the last video. All right, next question.
Look like pumpkin balls. Hard to the touch.
Oh my goodness.
I went out with a girl who had them done properly. You couldn't tell they were fake.
Exactly.
They were wonderful. I miss her so much from Seoul, South Korea.
From Seoul.
Seoul.
Wow.
Seoul.
Damn, Gary. I gave you a flashback, huh? Yeah, when they move around just nice, like Jello, you're good. But when they're hard as nails, forget it.
Mm.
What you doing? Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it so much. You got it, bro. You're handsome, bro. Are you kidding me? I said, look at how handsome Melvin is in the picture.
Yeah.
Dude, you got those big ass eyes, jet black hair. You got thick hair, nice teeth, chiseled features. You're good to go, man. Don't be shy. And you sing good. I can't sing to save my life. I was trying to sing the other night. I got a Marshall speaker, and I can't remember.
Samsung.
And a Samsung TV bar speaker, and I was singing, and Ray LeBarn was in another room, and I was hoping she was going to say something like, "Wow, you're a good singer."
So
She didn't say nothing. I was like, "Damn."
I told her you're in pain. That's why you.
That's why I was singing, because I was in pain.
No, the music is so loud.
Oh, what an excuse. 1800 Chicago in Minneapolis. Go in.
Walk the street.
Back on the street. 24 hours later. Back in there. Vicious cycle. Lot of natives. Hold on. I gotta figure this out.
Okay.
1800 Chicago in Minneapolis. Go in. Back on the street. 24 hours later. Back in there. Lot of natives. Gary Johnson, 1800 Chicago, and let's go back on the street.
Because he's talking.
Oh, you're talking about rehab? Yeah, definitely. A lot of natives. Yeah, that dope is no joke, man. It is no joke. It takes over. Next question. Purple rain, purple. Yeah, there you go. Yo, and what was that girl's name? Ambrosia, Aphrodite, or something. What was that girl's name? That everybody was obsessed over. Prince's girlfriend in that movie. Purple Rain. I used to dance to that. So I was an all-male review dancer. Don't laugh. Back in the 1980s, when I got out of the Navy, I wanted to continue to live in Hawaii. I worked for a company called Pelogram. We had Fungrams, R, double X, and triple X, all nude with a floor show. 3 songs. What is that? 90? Wait. How much is a song? I don't want to say 90 minutes. It's not 90 minutes. Each song is 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 60 times 3 is 100. All right, never mind. Let me stop talking. Keep going through the questions.
You bumped in some brass knuckles.
Yeah. Yo. They did that. They went in there 3 strong. If you took 3 of your boys to go beat somebody up and one dude ran off, they had 4 guys. Every single one of them got the shit kicked at them by one guy. Yo, that's like something out of a movie. You got one guy kicking the shit out of 3 people, and they're just laid out all over the place. One dude had a gun. He got scared. He shot it into the window or some craziness. Damn. And Old Dog Nutrix said he saw the video from the bar. I can imagine what that was like. I'll give Ray Ray LeBarn the brass knuckles. Yo, she would knock somebody's fucking teeth out. Excuse my language. The Kuya is charging us
11K for 3 days. I think. What do you think of that? 11K.
I got charged, let's see, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000 for a day. It was all day from sun up to sundown. That's not bad. Ron McDough,
Yeah.
11K for 3 days. Let's see, 6 times 3 would have been 18.
18.
Yo, that's a good price. All right. I don't know the guy. I don't know the Kuya, but that sounds like a pretty good price. Just make sure he don't try and flim flam on you. You know what I mean? Say, listen, that's the price we agreed upon, and don't take no shit. I don't take. That's my problem. See, I don't take no shit. Like if somebody was to rob me over here, I'd be like, you just picked the wrong dude. They'd be like, what, motherfucker? I'd be like,
Don't take shit.
even if
from
they had a gun,
nobody.
I'd be like, let's get this rocking. And I probably would have a bullet in my neck and wanted. I bet you that's what happened, TK. The son was fighting back. He wasn't, because if he was subservient and doing what, I don't think he would have got shot.
Ayla, have you thought about starting your own channel? I'm talking to Bobby about that. But what did you say?
What did I say?
Maybe when we're like,
Maybe when
no, when like
I'm dreaming.
we're
of a cigarette.
monetized with with Bobby's Angels, and then like
Yeah, first things first. I'm struggling so bad just to get how many more subs? We got like 827.
yeah.
Good God. I guess I'm boring. What happened to Schick? Schick, you still in here? Next question.
Domain admin. You're handsome too, Bobby. Talking all schools or panels made better.
Uh, you know what's? I was thinking about the people I grew up around. Man, we had the Pinas, the Sorrentinos, the Apizados, the Ganos, the Gattos. Let me not forget my buddy, uh, Gino and Carlo Bravo, the Bravo brothers, the Sorrentinos. I think I said that the Salsanos, Apizados. Oh, it was just boatloads of Italian people in Scotch Plains, man, and it was cool growing up in Scotch Plains. I lived on the one side of Park Avenue toward Plainfield, so I grew up in the rough side of Scotch Plains, which was good though because I grew up with the brothers, and there's no funnier people than the brothers. Sean will tell you, it was cool. And when I got sick, that was the people that came to visit me. 1800 Chicago. Oh, a detox center in Minneapolis. Yeah, I can imagine. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Crack is whack. You're not even kidding.
Apollonia?
That's it. That was Purple Rain, Apollonia. Apollonia.
Apollonia.
That's it. That's what we're going to call you from here on out.
Is that a movie?
Yeah. I think it's time to watch Purple Rain. I think we're watching that.
Co-starred with Prince in the movie Purple Rain.
And she was always wearing purple, from my recollection. That's why they said that because you're dressed all in purple. What's up
Yeah, and
with these
then the
earrings?
bus route.
Show the earrings.
I don't have purple earrings.
They look like dusters.
Fun.
Fans.
Fun.
Yo, find out what's that guy's name. Look on the TV. Can you move that a little bit? This guy, he's a vlogger. I gotta hold on one second. I gotta move the
Down.
video.
No, this phone is connected.
That one's connected?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. This guy, I think it's called sabbatical. Hold on a minute. Why is this? Who's that?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna find out who this is right now.
Left, right.
Sabbatical. All right, this guy, his
Sabbatical.
YouTube channel's called Sabbatical. Like you're on sabbatical. I guess that's like leave from work. And he's over there. I thought he was full of shit, right? Because he said, I'm gonna interview a Yakuza or Yukoza member. We're gonna hang out at the club tonight. And I'm like, this dude's so full of shit. But then when I saw the guy touching the one guy's hand and nodding his head and bowing down and I was like, you think it's real? And then when he was showing his tattoos and everything, I said, yo, I tell you what, this guy is the real deal. And I had told Isla like a year ago, or was it a year ago? It was like 7 months ago. For some reason, the term Yakuza came up.
Yeah.
And I was telling Isla about some of the guys, and I thought they were pretty cool. You just don't want to get on her bad side. Anyway, enough of that.
Ron, okay, sounds like the Kuya is giving a good.
Yeah, that's a good price because I got charged the other day. It was 6,000 from sun up to sundown. So 6 times 3 is 18. That'd be 18,000. You're paying 11,000. That's pretty good for 3 days.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good deal. What kind of vehicle though? You don't want to be driving around in a jalopy vehicle, right?
Jalopy.
A jalopy. I haven't used that word in a long time.
What is your ethnic background beside American? American.
Besides, what's this say? Mexican?
American.
It says, what is your ethnic background besides
Ethnic.
Mexican? American.
American?
Okay,
Mexican.
American. I got it. French and Irish on my dad's side.
Oh, okay.
German and Polish on my mother's side. So I got a good mix. It's like 4 quarters equal $1. And this one here, 100% Basayan, right?
Bisayo. Oh. Ron, regular car is fine. I take Grubs.
Okay. You know what? I've never taken a Grab yet.
Yeah.
I got to check it out. I'd save a lot of money, but I like Durrell. Sometimes it's not how much you pay, it's who you're paying. Bobby and Avalonia. I got to run. Have a great day. All right, Sean. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. God bless you, bro.
By the way, I had some Filipino friends that were Airbnb your condo place, so they are from Masbate. Oh. Were Airbnb in your condo?
Yeah, here, they got Airbnb. Some of these units are rented out. I bet you when we leave, the lady's going to turn this into an Airbnb since tourism came back, and they can make more money. Say if they rented this place out 15 days out of 30, I think they could probably make more money. The only problem with this condo right now, you're not going to believe it. The track hoe is outside with the jackhammer attachment, and it's not going on today, but it's been going on for like the last 30 days. What's today? Sunday, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's Sunday. And I'm telling you, man, it just
And
you get 2 of them going, ba 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 ba. It's like in stereo, and I'm just like, man, But Mom was like, what are you gonna do? They can't not build, So I'm like, yeah, whatever. You hear that all. I thought it was going to be the roosters and barking dogs. And I'm like, thank God I get here now. It's like major construction noise. For months, I said, oh God, here we go.
They are from Masbate.
I recognize the place via your videos. Yeah, the pool. And this place is all right. I got no complaints. Check this out though. What floor was the water pressure shot? They said from the 10th floor up above that. Check this out, from the 10th floor, the pump went out in this building for water pressure. So the water pressure was trickling out. I mean, you could piss harder than the water pressure was coming out of the pipe. And I'm like sitting in the shower in a shower chair. I mean, cursing like if I had $1 for every time I dropped an F bomb, I would have piles of money. I got the hose on me. I'm filling up buckets. The hot water heater was on the blink because there wasn't enough water pressure. I got soap in my clothes so bad. And then Isla was like, look at this. She took clothes that just came out of the wash machine, threw them in a bucket, and it just started like sloshing them around in the water. All these bubbles came out. I said, that's because Nixie kept adding soap, adding soap, adding soap. This one, adding soap, right? The stuff isn't getting washed out because there's no water pressure. It's not filling up the way it should. And I said, do me a favor, just keep putting load after load after load. And when you stop seeing bubbles, then add soap.
First time I turned on
My goodness.
the washing machine,
Mhm.
and then I didn't like put soap in
Yeah,
that.
you didn't have
But
to. There
the
was like
clothes
a
is not like there's no bubbles,
okay. Well,
so
there's
that's why I add soap.
I don't know.
Okay. I might get an Airbnb around the mall.
Yeah, mall's a good place. Guys always ask, how do you meet a woman over there? The mall. The mall or
Filipino mall.
the grocery, yeah, Filipino. That's my favorite one is what is it, Gaisano? A Filipino mall. Don't go to no like Ayala. Go to like a hardcore Filipino mall where there's no white people there. You'll stand out.
They Bobby from Australia.
What's up, Peter?
Peter T.
What's happening? Good day, mate. Yeah, I drink the Tuies, mate. I never forget the day I went on a submarine. The Australian military was in Pearl Harbor submarine base. They took me on the submarine, and when they opened up the torpedo tube, they had boxes about that tall and that wide, stacked three high from the front of the torpedo tube all the way to the back. All right, this is making Australians look bad. I'm sorry, I'm throwing you under the bus. What is that? I said, you guys ain't got no live torpedoes? They said, well, we just out cruising around, mate. I said, what is that? They said, that's the Tuies, mate. It's like your American Budweiser. I said, oh my God. They had cases of beer in the torpedo tubes. But Americans do the same shit though. We used to make homemade booze on the sub. Well, I wasn't stationed on the submarine, but I heard stories. Make your own booze. Make homemade booze while you're out underway. Well, hold
We're not done.
on.
Not way into
how do-
R&B.
How do you say this?
Do me, I mean,
I'm not way into R&B, soul, or rap,
but
but Prince was a musical genius. You're not even kidding. That dude could. How many different instruments could he play? And he could dance. He was pretty. Prince was pretty cool. Half black, half Italian, or Puerto Rican. I forget the mix. He had some women. It was unfortunate. Yeah, the opioids got him too, man. Maybe it was the fentanyl. God, it's causing him. Yep, figure it out. The whole, you know what it is. He probably had an injury. He was getting older. His back was hurting. You start taking a little bit, and then you start taking more and more, and next thing you know, it's not working as good. You start taking more. Next thing you know, you got a habit, and it's not like something you talk about. Yeah, I was like in shock when they found him dead like that. I was like, damn, that was sad. That's one of the days I'll never forget in my life when they found Prince. He overdosed, man. Fentanyl and shit is bad. it's a little bit too strong. But you know what? If you got cancer or you got like a week or two to live, that's about the only thing that's going to work because other pain medications aren't touching the pain. I'm not white, low, I'm black and young, 41, haha. But my girlfriend looks very similar to Isla. Excellent, bro. Ain't no better women on the planet. They will get along good. I miss my brothers, man. One time when I was in Hawaii, they said, "What's wrong, Bobby?" I said, "I miss my brothers, man." And I was explaining it to a local. And it was funny too, because when I went back, I went into the hood and they were talking about girls wearing grass skirts and shit. I just had my hand on my head. I said, I can't take you guys nowheres. I said, if you went to the Dremaines luau, they had girls shaking their asses in grass skirts. I said, they thought like there was like people walking around like that, like the general population, everybody's wearing. I said, they're not living in huts like that. Shit, you've been watching too much TV, man. I wanted to take them all there. Prince and Michael Jackson. Absolutely. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was on freaking propanol. He was on propanol to go to sleep. They had a Dr. Juice in him. Yo, propanol is what they put you to sleep in surgery. You have a colonoscopy or any kind of stuff like that. It's propanol because the last propanol and Michael Jackson, instead of like, and I hate to say this, but when I woke up from my colonoscopy, this was like 5 years ago, I asked the anesthesiologist, "Yo, what'd you give me?" And he said propanol, and he said it was the same thing that killed Michael Jackson. And I was like, wow, that's how he was going to sleep at night. So he probably had, he was, all right, he probably had a multiple, he was probably addicted to multiple drugs, amphetamines to wake up, and then propanol to go to bed. That's hardcore, man. Michael didn't have an easy life. You know what I mean? I think his dad was molesting him, and he didn't like the way he looked. And if you look at the progression, he went from the Jackson Five. Yo, I the Jackson Five was the shit back in the day. A, B, C, one, two, three. All right. Michael had problems, man, and it was because of his father, his parents, and stuff. That just goes to show you could have all the money in the world, and it's what were we talking about the other day? Money and happiness.
Well, the
Yeah,
vlogger.
I know. Isla said I thought the money was gonna help, and it's a long story. I don't want to like bring up who it was or what we were talking about. It's like personal. But I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I know some super, super mega wealthy people. I'm talking about like serious ballers. Like they got billions with the B. This guy I was rolling with, he crashed his Jeep on the island of Lanai. His father, all right, I'll tell you who it was. Murdoch. You ever heard the name Murdoch? I met his son on the island of Lanai. He was drinking and he crashed his Jeep. What's the right? Yeah, Jeep Wrangler with the roll bar. It was a one of a kind Jeep. They came and he came and got me off of my job site when I was working behind the Manelli Bay Hotel. They had his Jeep, the same exact one, turnbuckled, chained into a military airplane. It was circling the airport, and he's screaming at the people in the Lanai airport. They're like, "Sir, that plane is too big to land here." And you know what happened? It went right off the end of the runway and was stuck in the sand. And I remember them gunning the engine and freaking sand just, and it was sucking sand into the motors. It was the craziest thing you ever seen. Then finally, it got unstuck, and the ass end of the plane opened up, and he's like, "Come on!" And there was the same exact Jeep, and he unchained it, drove it off, and he went and talked to the guys, and we took off. Talk about money. Yo, they closed the airport, and the kid was yelling at his. I mean, he wasn't yelling. He was just. He wanted the same Jeep. Talk about money. So all the, but he was. I'm not saying he wasn't happy. I was just trying to tell Isla. I know some filthy rich people. I mean, like money like you ain't never seen before. I think his name is Rupert Murdoch. He's owns television stations, and he owns a media company, publishing company, and he's not a U.S. citizen. I met his kid, and Mike Deegan, my boss, said, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "I don't care who it is," because I was trying to buy him drinks, and he was like, "Yo, put your money away." Next question.
Do my
How many in here? 18 in the chat. All right. Hanging loose. Thank you for being here. Did you ever date anyone at the strip club?
I did for a couple of years and it didn't go too well.
We'll call him DA.
DA.
DA, I did. And you don't want to hear something crazy? Charlie, the Taiwanese guy, said, I got a job for you. He said, you're going to live with 9 women at the top floor of this building. So we were on the penthouse. My job was to make sure that they weren't messing around with guys, that they had good makeup, clean clothes, weren't doing drugs, and were at work every day at 2 p.m. and worked till 4 o'clock in the morning, and was like security. Because back in the day, I was a badass. I'm not bragging. I could take out like 5 or 6 people by myself, like it wasn't even there. So the answer to the question, yes, I dated a stripper, and I remember her. She busted out a bunch of cocaine. I remember I smashed a mirror over her head, and I flushed her coke down the toilet, and she freaked out on me. She literally broke her fake nails off into my face, and I don't even want to tell you what happened after that. But anyway, strippers are crazy. My buddy Ricky Pena, if you ever watch this video, he opened up a nightclub on Route 22 called Tight Ends, and he said, I can't stand it. It's like babysitting a bunch of women. Strippers usually have like issues. Not all of them. I don't know. You got Pure Platinum, that was like back in the day down there on Kala Avenue. You had to pay like $15 or $20 cover charge to get in there, and it was called Pure Platinum. They had like a calendar with all the girls working in there, and you couldn't like get close to the girls and all this other stuff. Make your finger like that, bend it. Look at that. Isla's double jointed. Turn it sideways so we can see it. Look at the bend on that finger. Yeah,
But
look at
only this. I
that.
can't.
Look at that. Yo, Nixie. You know, Nixie's the one that's got the crazy fingers. And if you ever watch her braid hair, she's like really ambidextrous. Yeah, I dated a stripper. It's stressful too, man. You know, your girl's up there showing the coochie to everybody. And the one I was dating, I dated a couple of them. Man, there were badasses on that pole. They busted out with some moves. Yeah, I dated strippers in Mexico, in Hawaii, in the United States, all over the place. I know a guy that's got a thing for cocaine and strippers, and that shit goes hand in hand.
But
Oh my God.
and then
Never been to Hawaii, but lived in China for 6 years. After I broke up with my ex, I moved to Philippines. I'd already been there though. I used a trainer for a call center way back in the day. I used to be a
Oh, that's a
trainer.
trainer, yeah.
Yeah, for a call center. So you train the girls. Oh my God. You talking about a call center in Asia? Woo! Talking about a lot of women. Holy camole.
Rob.
You got a Ron, you got to go to Hawaii. I don't know. It's expensive. It's not bad. But if you've been to the Philippines and you've seen white sand beaches, it's not going to be as impressive. Like if you've never been to the islands and you go straight from the United States to Hawaii, you're going to be like awestruck. But if you've been to the Philippines and then you go to Hawaii, it's not as big of a deal. Thank you for the 19 people in here. Excellent. It's like a family now. Like Pete says, Pete Johnson. I'm probably one of the lucky few
Pete
who have
Johnson,
seen.
Gary.
Oh, we've seen both of them. Victor Roberts saw Michael Jackson and Prince live. Guess what? I didn't see either one of them live. And you know what? All right, I say I have no regrets, right? Remember I told you that? I live with no regrets. If I could go back, that's two of the people that I'd like to see live in concert for sure. There's no doubt. And all that, I don't know, all that stuff they threw Michael Jackson under the bus. There was a big argument at work one time, and I said, listen, I'm not throwing Michael under the bus. I said, but would you let him watch your kid? And nobody said a word. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Michael Jackson went through the ringer when he was young. I'm not giving him an out. I don't know what happened. I said, I'm done talking about it. I love his music and I always will. And that's the end of the story. And I walked off. There was a big ass fight on a job about that. And there was another, check this out. I was working for the laborers union in New Jersey, and somebody said, turn that shit off. And it was Bruce Springsteen. And somebody said, F the boss, because that's what he's called. He's called the boss, if anybody knows. And man, a big fist fight broke out. And I yelled out, damn, I thought I was the only one. Bruce Springsteen's all right. I got nothing bad to say about him, but I just never, I was more like a Led Zeppelin, AC/DC guy. I wasn't really into the boss too much. I was proud, and Bon Jovi was kind of like,
Is he still alive? Bon
yeah,
Jovi.
Bon Jovi's alive. He was cool. He had some badass music. Wanted Dead Alive. I was listening to that song the other night. I got goosebumps over my whole body. Wanted Dead or Alive. On a steel horse I ride. Bow down, bow, 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 bow. I was like, yo, I don't even want to sing. It'll
Um,
go from like it'll go from like 18 to like 2.
you know what, Boo? My aunt, he is mad if we're listening music. What was that? Michael Jackson's music. Yeah, because they said if you're going to listen his all his music,
It'll
like
cause you to get pregnant.
nope, like uh, it's a scene.
It's a sin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they said about Elvis Presley. Hey,
Elvis,
Melvin, if you're listening,
Michael.
listen to this. My mother was forbidden to watch Elvis. They used to call him Elvis the pelvis because when he started twisting and shaking, that was like that freaked. That was like the sacrilege, like gyrating the hips and all that. That wasn't, you weren't supposed to do that back in the good old days. Yeah, right. So Elvis busted out and all hell broke loose. All right, now I don't even know what I was talking about. Next question. See, y'all got me going on a
Korean
roll here.
girl
This is the coffee.
went out with me right around the corner from Queens. She used to tell me that Queens live there.
Palisades.
Paisley, Paisley Park.
Okay.
I thought it's a factory, doesn't live there. Turns out he did.
Wow. So he lived in one of those industrial buildings. That's the ones with the high ceilings with the pipe showing and the brick walls, like old school, with those giant ass windows. I like that type of living where you could ride around on a skateboard or roller skates. ride around on a dirt bike in your apartment, right? It's so big, it's like half a football field. Larry P,
What's that?
Lackland, or
James.
James M. Hmm.
The one that you're talking
Which
about the
one?
happiness. That so most
Murdoch. Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me think. We're talking. Oh my God. You know how many years ago this was? This was, if you Google Manelli Bay Hotel and Bill Gates marriage, so you'll know the time frame that I was there when I met Murdoch's kid.
Murdochs.
It wasn't. It wasn't Lackland. If
Secret
there's only
Road.
two of them, it was James.
Oh, this one.
Huh?
Oh, where are we now here? Oh, Gary. hmm
Elvis Presley live, no doubt.
I think my stripper girlfriend was on
Yeah,
different tracks when the big meth wave hit.
yeah, that's meth and dancing all night
Meth.
and just being wide awake and the whole dealing with men and being a female that goes like hand in hand. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. If I could go back, I would see it. You, me, and everybody else. My God,
Elvis.
that really sucks that Elvis died like that.
Of what?
It's beat. He was, I don't know.
Drugs?
Melvin, I watched, or not watched, I listened to Elvis around Christmas time. He was so drunk and high. All right, I'm throwing Elvis under the bus. This is what drugs and alcohol do to people. Came out on stage and started laughing hysterically, laid down on the stage and started talking about he was so high he forgot the words to his song. That's sad. He didn't need to go
Elvis.
out like that, man.
Elvis Presley.
Yeah,
Is here.
yeah. He didn't need to
Elvis.
go out like that. You know what I mean? People need to realize when you're famous like that, you don't need to go out like that. You could get, you know what kind of help you could get, but easier said than done. That's so much goddamn pressure. When you're that famous, it's hard for the average person. You got women throwing themselves at you. No matter where you go, people want to talk to you. You got to wear disguises. You just can't go out in public. You're like a prisoner. You're basically a prisoner. Next time I do a live stream of Old Dog, I would suggest you
Go
go.
on
Yeah,
his channel.
Paulie needs to do the live stream and invite me on his
Invite,
channel.
yeah.
Old Dog, if you're watching, please do me that solid. Yeah,
Favor.
exactly. I was thinking the same thing, Gary Johnson. And Paulie, let me tell you something, man. If you don't do that, that means you're scared because I'm coming for you. You know what's funny? YouTubers say, "Oh, I'm not really worried about this and that." Yeah, you are. When it comes to this, and you're on a fixed income, you're worried about it. I was never much for Bruce Springsteen. Why are you giving me the elbow? Paulie's not going to get mad at me. Paulie knows I always got his back. Yeah, the boss. I think he was overrated. I don't know. Brooklyn Charlie, if you're watching, I'm sorry, bro. Maybe Brooklyn Charlie
Bobby
likes
miss you.
likes the boss.
Gary never was much for Bruce Springsteen.
Me neither.
Yes,
And
Bobby, I'm listening.
all right, Melvin, I'm glad you're still on board. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I was just like, I had friends that were obsessed with Springsteen, with like all the posters in her room and just playing the tape over and over until you had to wind it tight. And the fucking tape is like stretching. Now it's like this. I'm like, yo, you wore the tape out, playing the same song over and over to the boss. Every time I got in her car, that's what I would hear. I'd hit the eject button and take the tape and throw it right out the windows. Talk about starting a fight.
Gary, I still haven't found what I'm looking for by YouTube from
There
the
you go.
80s. I used to listen to all the time when I lived in Toma, Wisconsin, and was a mailman delivering crowbar. He was a mailman
Yeah,
delivering.
my my old man, my pops, he was a Gary. Check this out. I think my dad was a mailman, a civil service worker for 47 years. So his Marine Corps time and time at the golf course counted toward his retirement. But yeah, a long time he's a mailman for. Listen, the mailman job, that's a stressful job. People don't realize how tough it is being a mailman, especially nowadays. Like my dad was telling me, back in the day, you got done with your route, you could like go into the bar or whatever with your uniform on and hang out with the local crew, whatever. You'd have a bunch of people in there. Now it's like you got to go back and sort mail. You got to scan that the mailboxes. They know exactly where you are at every minute on that route. Thank God you got out. Did you retire as a civil service worker, Gary? You got a good check. Then you're good to go, bro. Just keep working out. Me, I'm half in the bag. I'm just waiting to wake up one day with a high fever and I'm out of here. Ellie Brainbridge was telling me just get Isla some good insurance, some life insurance. But I got to keep the insurance policy. What is it? It doesn't pay out for like the first year or two, and you can't commit suicide. That's a sin against God. No suicide.
Boo, in your country, boo, like if someone pass away,
Hmm.
and then
We
like
we don't bring the body back to the house.
no, even in the church.
We bring the body to the church. Yes.
But if you committed suicide, you
Yes.
can't bring the body inside the church. You can't or
No,
you
you
can.
can. You
You
can.
can.
Yeah.
Here you can't. Only
Wow.
outside the
Did
church.
you hear that? If you commit suicide in the Philippines, you can't bring
The body
the.
inside.
Wow.
Only outside.
That's another reason. All right. I'm against birth. I'm for birth control, like the pill. So there's not a lot of unwanted pregnancies. And that's against the. All right. This is the way it should be done. Don't be having sex until you get married. But me, I'm like, I got to drive the car before I buy it. Anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just really like the religion, being close to God. They took God out of the schools, the pledge allegiance to the flag. Now everything is like it's just out of control. If you got a dick and some titties and you want to share the bathroom, I really don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. If you want to marry the same sex, that's between you and God. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't care either. If you want to paint yourself fucking purple and live as I don't know, what's purple? In nature, what's purple? If you want to paint yourself purple and call yourself a flower and walk around, that's fine with me. I don't care what you do. It does not bother me. Everybody's got rights. It's all good. It just seems like there's not a lot of focus on what should be important. You know what I mean? Things are all out of whack. And I realize everybody wants the spotlight. We all got to work. We're all down here trying to do the same thing. If we don't work together, we're fucked. We're screwed. That's basically it.
Domain, what did you do in the Navy? Thanks for wearing the sacred cloth.
I was an MR machinery repairman. And what I did was I worked in a job shop where we had the blueprints on a thing called a microfiche. And we would print out a set of blueprints to manufacture a part that was warped, bent, broken, shattered. It was pump shafts, gears, washers, bolts. I mean, anything. A lot of valves. A lot of valves. I got an award for working on a trash disposal unit on one of the submarines. And
Submarine.
yeah, because the tolerances were like real tight on it was a big ass valve called a trash disposal unit. And we had to work on it. Most the you had day shift, night shift, and weekend shift. It was good to be on a weekend shift because you worked like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then you had 4 days off. And I had to be at work at 6 in the morning and got off I think 3 or 3:30. Crowbar Crowbar is a bar I used to go to.
Zip order
Zip Walter later died from drug overdose
on the place.
on the place. Reason why they call
Zip
him Zip.
zip order.
The Crowbar is the bar I used to go to. Zip Walter later died from drug overdose. You know what? There's a Crowbar in Hawaii. It was on the main drag on Kalakala, and they called it a crowbar because it had a half circle round balcony that was made out of glass, and you could look down and see all the people walking underneath you on the sidewalk. And then they decorated that second floor overhang with like all these big giant driftwood branches where it looked like a bird's nest, and they called it the Crowbar. And it had a set of steps that was like this. It was like straight up and down. And I remember one of my buddies getting drunk and just he took one step and just that was it. And he was at the bottom. He was all busted up. It was concrete steps. I was like, damn, bro. He was all wobbly. He was like one step forward, 3 steps back, like falling down drunk. And I was telling the other guys, I said, yo, don't let him go down the stairs by himself. And next thing you know, they were like, yo, Chris fell down the stairs. I was mad at everybody.
I met Jerry Lee, the lead at Foxwoods Casino when I worked there years ago.
How do you say the guy's name? And
Necco, Necco 3000.
Necco 3000. I met Jerry Lee Lewis at Foxwood Casino when I worked there security years ago. Wow, he worked at the Foxwood Casino. Bro, that is back in the day. Jerry Lee Lewis. That's a Great Balls of Fire guy, right? My goodness, Jerry Lee Lewis. Holy cow. He died in a plane crash, correct? Foxwood Casino, man, that's back in the day. I know you know some people, bro, because think about the strip. That was back in the good old days. I remember Circus. They had that dollar breakfast, all you could eat, and the Flamingo and all them cool casinos. It's totally different now. Thank you, Elvis. Oh, we got Elvis in here. Thanks, bro. Oh goodness.
Elvis.
Oh yeah.
Elvis died in the crap.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It was a plug of his head blew off.
Hmm. John Wayne, they said he had 42 pounds of shit in him. Why would you even put that on the internet, John Wayne? And that's not his real name. But all right. Now that the cat's out of the bag. All right, here we go. I don't know if I should say this. This is going to piss some people off. I really didn't care for the boss, and I didn't like John Wayne. I thought John Wayne was a pussy. Oh no. Who's in the same boat as me about John Wayne? And what's his real name? They had to give him a nickname. They couldn't even use his real name. The dude was like soft as cotton. John Wayne, the dude. Come on now. I don't know. It's just like Telly's Heroes or Bridge to Navarone or like John Wayne movies. I don't know. Some of them were just kind of like they were just corny. I didn't like. I wasn't convinced. I didn't think he was a good actor.
John Wayne.
Like I don't know. If I saw Clint Eastwood with a big ass 357 Magnum pointed at my head, I'd be trembling in my boots. But if a John Wayne showed up with a big gun, I'd be like, yo, you better put that gun down before I do something to you. Now I'm going to take flack. Somebody's a John Wayne. Somebody loves John Wayne in here.
John Wayne is here.
Oh, no. Somebody's going to tear me apart because I said shit about John Wayne. I just know it. I can feel it coming. That's what I get, right? Thank you for the 13 people in there. Is that 13 or 19? I can't even say. 18. Damn.
Ladies and
Somebody
gentlemen.
tell me a story. What's going on? What's new? Somebody tell me something exciting. I need to hear something exciting.
Elvis just entered the building.
Elvis has left the building. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, there we go. Better make an announcement. Yo, that white jumpsuit was the karate suit. Elvis had a badge. He was part of the DEA carrying a gun. Elvis was cool. Loose suede shoes.
You're throwing me under the bus.
My goodness.
I had an 8-track of the Kids Love Them playing that thing till they came shooting out of the machine.
Yeah, 8-track. Oh my God. How many people in here remember the 8-track cassette? And then when that thing would start going, take it out, it's eating the tape. And like you said, the tape would get all wound up inside there. Yeah, man. 8-track cassette tapes. Holy cow. We're going way back. I miss those days. I really do. All the cars, the way the cars look on the road. I miss old cars. The muscle cars and everything. Now they got electric cars. Oh my God.
Gary, I was the post office for 10 years. Did the road in 3 hours. We had 6. I would go home, take a shower, read a paper, eat lunch, and go back to the post office at 3.
Oh, he had it made in the shade. Yeah. He got out before they in New Jersey and in the cities. You got out at a good time. The post office is something serious. You all right? I said, are you all right? Yo, check this out. I don't know what to tell them what happened the other night. That night I grabbed you by the arm when you were moving around. That was crazy.
Gary, I had 21 years of federal service, retired from the Bay Area at the end.
Excellent. 21 years of federal service. My goodness. You're set, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep working out and eating good. You'll be good to go. You're already doing the right thing. Over here in the Philippines, what a better place to be. I could not think of a better place. It's so laid back. I don't even know what day it is. Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Sunday is a fun day. It's laid back. If I had enough money, Gary Johnson's in a good spot. He's in a good spot.
Gary, I really don't care what people do either. I just don't need to know about it every time I turn around. Give it to yourself, but don't go around saying I'm heterosexual or rejects like it.
Yeah, why don't we start a club, a heterosexual club? We got to represent.
The reason they call it crowbar is you literally need a crowbar to get out of that place. I would go in there at 2 in the afternoon and leave at 2 a.m.
Wow. Yeah, I used to do that too back in the day.
Played a lot of 6x4 for drinks. Play a lot of 6x4 for drinks. Dice game. Marion Robert Morrison.
I never played dice in my life. Can you believe that, Gary? I never shot craps in my life. I watched a lot of crap games, but I never. Go back.
Marion.
That's John Wayne's real name, Marion Robert Morrison. Oh my God.
The Green Beret.
The Green Beret.
We're ready.
Was that Flying Leathernecks? I
A-Tracks,
like
the
that one.
problem was you could hear the song from the other track playing while you were listening.
Yeah. Yo, yeah, I remember that. It was like an overlap. You could hear the next song. I remember that. There was always a problem. Post office 86 to 96. Wow. 10
10
years.
years?
Excellent. You made it, bro. The post office. Were there any good looking girls working there? My father warned me. We were out at the Jolly Trolley one day, and he said, "You see that girl over there? Don't you ever talk to her." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "That girl's pretty good looking." He goes, "Yeah, so did five guys at the post office." I'm like, "Five guys at the post office? What does five guys at the post office have to do with that girl over there?" He said, "She's got kids by five different guys, and they all work at the post office. And when she gets her support check every month, it's like a ridiculous amount. So don't let her reel you in." I was like, "Holy cow, what a racket, right?" Because all the postal workers from Westfield, New Jersey, I guess they were drinking at that bar, the Jolly Trolley or whatever it was, and this girl was free, and she knew who was who, and she was purposely getting. It's the guy's fault too. You can't just blame the lady. It takes two to tango. So I'd be an idiot to say it was. It takes two to tango.
Graceland.
Um, I never visited Graceland, but I remember mom telling me that a lot of the plants growing in the yard in Cranford, New Jersey, were from cuttings my grandmother and my aunt Constance, Aunt Connie, she went to Graceland and they were taking securities like, "What are you doing out here?" And they had like a bucket and like some pruning shears. They were taking cuttings because they were like, "The plants here are phenomenal." So they took a bunch of cuttings, took them home and rooted them, and then those plants that are growing at Graceland are growing in my grandmother's yard at 16 Carpenter Place in Cranford, New Jersey. Mom sold the house. She don't live there no more, but no, I was never there. See what you did? You had me telling this big old story about the plants. Elvis's gardeners had the cream of the crop plants growing there. Tuba, I see tuba. Larry P. No, I didn't try that. I didn't even try the wine yet, bro.
Wine.
I haven't tried either one. You know why? I was telling Isla the other night, I said, "You know that Imperador and that cheap booze?" I said, "It's
Kalafu.
Calafu, yeah." I said, "Here's the thing." I said, "I got a urinary tract infection, and it's not good to drink cheap booze. The more boozes, the purer the booze is, the less it's going to do to your body." So I really haven't drank since the night I got drunk on the Johnny Walker Black, right?
New Year.
That was
One
months. I drank one beer.
can. Can is that a can
Yeah, I
of beer?
drank one beer New Year's, and before that, y'all saw me get rocked. I was out of my. I was pretty rocked. Not real bad, but bad enough on an empty stomach. Sometimes you just got to get drunk. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, look at him," and it was like 3 episodes, so now I won't be getting drunk for a while. I do want I do want to try the Kalafu and the palm wine and all that different stuff. Probably what I'm gonna try first is that stuff that you chew, the mot,
Mama.
the mama. How do you say it?
Mama.
I'm gonna be trying that. That Say it again.
Mama.
I'm gonna be trying that before I try that booze.
Mama.
Now, check this out. From here on out, might have some bright red teeth and be spitting in that bottle again and have everybody on my case. And my
Mama
eyes
is red.
be like this, be zooming. because I think it's a stimulant. Wow, we got,
Stimulant.
how you say the name?
Sun,
Sun Moon.
Baby.
Thank you for being here, Sun Moon. Marion, oh, yep, here we go. It's starting to show. Marion was a draft dodger during World War II, being the son of a World War II veteran who landed on Omaha Beach on D-Day. Yep. All right, bro, we're in the same boat. Absolutely. I knew that was a pussy. My goodness. How you gonna avoid the draft and be like a pussy hiding out in the woods? Yo, I met a guy, his name is Freddie. I'm not gonna say his last name. He was in a federal prison during the Vietnam War, and his trade, he's a logger. So they put him in a federal forest in a work camp, and he was there for like 3 or 4 years. They caught him. He was a draft dodger too. Nobody, listen, nobody wants to go to war, but you got to fight for the country. I'm in a wheelchair right now, and I just not talking shit. If we got into a war with China, I tell you what, man, I'd be like, yo, is there something I could do? Like, I don't even care. I'll strap on a fucking giant bomb and just go blow something up. You know what I mean? Just let out a big scream and pull the ripcord and I'm done. Be like some Al Qaeda type shit. Just blow a whole bunch of people all to pieces. Why not? You know what I mean? It's about my legs are shot. All right, let me stop talking. Babe, that's how I'm going out.
Gary, I thought about you while I was in Boracay. It would be hard for you to get around there. Very tourist, a lot of people. We did a helicopter ride for 13.
Wow, you did a helicopter ride? 13,000 pesos. So 5,000 is 100. 10, it's a little bit more than 200. 260. So about 260. How long were you guys up in the air, Gary?
15 minutes.
Ooh, okay, 15 minutes. Well, they're making some money. I'm making some money. It burns a lot of gas. The Gardner Graceland has always been family relation. Wow. All right. Yeah, the plants. They had this one plant. I don't know what it's called. Mom, if you're listening, what was the name? Make a comment. What was that plant that got like 40 feet tall? It was like a freaking curtain. And it was, mom didn't like one of the neighbors.
My first car was the family cars, 1973 gold.
A
Duster.
Oh my God.
With the house 3 speakers in the back. Great at
keg parties. Oh yeah.
Nickel.
A duster. Yo, some of them dusters had big ass you are the bomb, right? They'd be like, yo, this guy's coming up quick in this they'd have to get me a Segway with the knobby tires on it and just load me down with like about 150 pounds of high explosives. I'd just take the whole place out.
40 feet.
I'd probably have to get high too. I'd get gassed up on something right before. And the kamikazes, if you do research on the kamikazes before they loaded up with all them bombs and shit, they were high. And our pilots that were doing the sorties during the Gulf War, they were a little bit of meth. How you gonna stay up around the clock and be wide awake? Coffee's not cutting it. I'm sorry. And I'm not throwing people under the bus. It's just reality. Same thing with the 9/11 cleanup site. There was people getting high to stay awake because their work was going on around the clock and people were trying to do as much as possible. I know people that worked there for like 3 months, and when that was up, they didn't go to work for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months after that. They're just spent, absolutely exhausted.
40 feet plant sounds like bamboo.
No, it wasn't bamboo. It was something. It wasn't like bamboo. This is what was crazy about it. It wasn't like bamboo, but it grew so fast. I'm gonna find out the name of that plant.
Snake plant.
And when I no, it's not the snake plant. The snake plant don't get that tall. I know the one you're talking about too. But it was huge. This thing was just it just took off. And you would cut it back. This was the thing. I remember mom, I was cutting it back and then it would grow like a ridiculous amount over the summer. It was about $238. The only reason I did it was the girl.
I was with never been in a helicopter.
There you go. That's cool. She'll never forget that as long as she lives, bro. Good deal.
Sun Moon, my first car was 66
Oh.
Impala SS.
My goodness. Yo, hold on. Just leave that on for a second. Imagine if you had that car now. What size motor? Yo, the 66 Impala SS. I got this thing for low riders too. Tavis Keats, if you're watching, what was that low rider you had? I never forget. My buddy TK, we call him Tavis Keats. He's on my friends list on Facebook. We were like this growing up. He came and picked me up, and I'm looking at the car. I think it was a 66 Impala. I'm looking at it, and he had this like, he was trying not to smile, and I got inside, and I saw the wire, and it was a box with switches on it, and all of a sudden we were like, beep, boom, boom, and the car was bouncing. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, where did you get this from? He's like, my cousin in Plainfield or something. I can't remember the story, but it was like a 66 Impala. Them cars are nice. I would love to have a car like that with a big muscle car motor in it. They get like 6 miles to the gallon gas. Or a Lucid electric. Look up Lucid electric vehicle. 1,100 horsepower. They're having problems. I bought some of the stock at $14 a share. It's down to like what, 8 EGOTs. That's like a 7 to 10 year hold though. That's the thing. I gotta start making money because some of these stocks, the stock market's a wreck right now. Every once in a while I'll jump on something. I'll see an opportunity to make a little bit of money just to stay going.
Hey,
Mark.
Menenga. Menenga?
Yeah. What's up, bro? Eminem. Hey, Bobby D and Angel's just chilling, enjoying the stories. All right, Mark. Thanks for being here, bro. Thank you for being here. It helps out. Don't forget to hit the like button. All right, forget about the like button. Just subscribe. How's that? It don't cost nothing. Mom was even saying, why do they call it subscribe? Nothing in life is free. It's gotta, I said, well, on the internet, all these apps, what they're doing, information of people is the new gold of the, what is it, like the 20th century? All right, now I'm sounding stupid. I don't even know what century it is. 21st century or 22nd? I don't even know. All right, so when you accept those apps on your phone and click OK, like Facebook, now Facebook is screwed. And that's if you look at the stock. All right, I gotta fess up. I bought a whole bunch at $98 a share. It's going back to fucking 200. You wanted a tip? There it is. It's too late now. If you didn't get it at 98, party's over. Because it could go the other way. They laid off like thousands of people. But that's the thing. This is what I do. When I see the fear in the market, like, all right, perfect example. My buddy, the Irishman back home said, oh, Bob, did you see what happened with Bitcoin? I was thinking about you. I said, yeah, I bought some. He was like, what? I said, I sold out a long time ago. When that dude, Bankman or whatever his name, that kid, I don't know why they trusted him with all that money. Yo, and his girlfriend is a flake. She's about spent. So when Bitcoin fell off a cliff, what I do? I waited a little bit to see how bad it was going to get, and it started trading sideways, and it kind of started consolidating. When that shit hit about 15.5, I threw about 3,000 at it. Wham. And what is it at now? Well, there you go. That's how you do it. When people freak out and panic sell, that's when I buy. I'm always looking for an opportunity when shit falls off a cliff, because it's always an overreaction. And then people say, oh God, why did I sell? Oh God, Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. So let me tell you something. It might not go back to 66. It might not get to 100 grand, but it's not going away anytime soon. Same thing with Ethereum. All these shit coins that are out there, I don't even know what to tell you about that. There's a million use case scenarios. Time's going to tell. It's you got to predict the future when you're in the stock market. I knew Tesla was going to do good.
Sun won all the
Way
pilots
before
in
it
World
did.
War II were given benzodrine. Benzodrine?
Benzodrine.
They were tweaking, dropping bombs on Germany.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
327.
327. Oh, that's the motor. Oh no, the car had that motor in it too. That's the good motor. Wow. Yo, that's the badass motor to 327.
Sold that car when I joined the Marines in 85.
Thank you for serving.
The backseat folded.
Wow, the same ages.
Good memories. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah. In the back seat. Oh yeah. You know what you're talking about?
The car?
What happened in the back seat? What happened? All right, never mind. What happened in the back seat of the car?
I don't know. What is Gary, I did a helicopter ride when I was because I am reading.
Oh, you did that, Gary? Did you do that helicopter? It's orange, brown, and yellow. The Magnum PI helicopter, the one that's out on that point on the island of Oahu. I think I used to see it out there all the time. I did a helicopter ride when I was in Hawaii with my ex-wife. I already knew what he's gonna say. I already knew what he's gonna say. Should have threw her ass out the door. Oh shit! They had the door slit open. Could have just. Yo, you would have had to pay off the what do you call it? The pilot. Be like, we're gonna make this shit look like an accident. Get the chopper to lean. All of a sudden, I'd be like, bye, bitch. You went through that divorce, man. That's why I never got married. I was telling people, I said, yo, I'm going to prison. Like, what do you mean? I said, did you see so-and-so over there? He spent enough money on his wedding to buy a house in New Jersey and pay cash. 5 years later, they're fighting over everything. They're using the kids. This is what pissed me off. See, Mom, I'm giving you a shout out. My mother and my father never said bad shit about each other in front of me to get me upset. I'm sure it came to their mind at points because of what happened, because Mom and Dad were divorced when I was 5. But listen, they never used me as a pawn. My grandmother was a saint. I miss my grandmother every single day of my life. My God, I never met a person like that in my entire life. All right, so Gary Johnson, when you said you should have shoved that bitch out the door, that's everybody's like, damn, you still ain't married yet. I said, nah, why get married? I live with one girl, Kalena, if you're watching, I'll always love you. As a friend, you got to meet. My Japanese girlfriend for 9 years called Isla a young katunk, and I started dying laughing. And then I was like, hello? Hello? I was talking to dead air. She hung up on me. She got mad. So 9 years with Kalena. Lisa was like 8 years, and then Denise was like 7. So I got like 7, 8, 9. That's 3 relationships. Bam. And I wasn't even married. And one relationship with Denise, there was two kids involved and a bad divorce. I tell you what, those kids, they put my ass through the ringer. I wasn't scared of nobody, but them kids had me scared out of my fucking mind. I'm like, what are they gonna do next? It was bad. It was, oh my god. They said you caused a mom to divorce our daddy. I said, oh no, I wasn't even in the same state. The Duster. Oh, it was in the Duster, the 327. Holy shit. Hmm.
No parts, so 40.
Oh no. Wait a minute. Now we got 440. Damn, that's a good engine. My two favorite engines, 427 in a Corvette, and my best engine ever, Super Cobra Jet 429, two Holly 950 carburetors, and an FMX racing transmission. A Ford. I hate to say it. First on race day, found on the road dead. Fixed or repaired daily. I heard all of it. I had what kind of car did I have? It was a 68 Cougar. It had a 351 Cleveland in it. But Mr. Ruggieri had a Gran Torino GT Fastback with the 429 Super Cobra jet in it. Yo, and exhaust pipes were like this big around, like looking at it from the back. And he had headers and straight pipes. I think he might have had them cans, the what do you call them, cherry bomb mufflers on it. And we used to go through the Holland and Lincoln Tunnel. He had a thing for women, so he had a girlfriend in the city. And man, I tell you what, it sounded like a freaking jet taking off. We used to go. He would he would be in fourth gear, winding it out, and drop it down in the third, and the rear end would come unglued, and he would hit. If I'm remembering this correctly, that big block motor would hit 8 grand on the tachometer, and it just your ears would be ringing inside that tunnel. It just I get goosebumps all over my body just thinking about it. It was that car was it was crazy fast. I remember going through the U-turn. This is where we would race on Route 22 over there by Bowcraft. We would do the U-turn, and both cars would come around the U-turn and come out on the highway, and somebody would be standing out there, and it would just go like that. And right when we would hit Bowcraft, the light right there, it was a quarter mile, and we would drop people off. Oh, cars would be going by like, holy cow, racing all night. And then the cops, somebody would call the police. So we had lookouts all over the place. I think somebody died out there one time. The car got all squirrely and they went off into the woods doing like 100. Because a quarter mile, you hit like about 100 miles an hour, 105, flying like 9 second quarter miles. They had some crazy cars out there racing.
You're up to 826.
Okay.
Up to new subscribers during the
Excellent.
stream.
Excellent. Thank you for the sub.
174 to go.
Ah,
Bitcoin is pretty much down, correct?
it'll be all right. That guy, Sam Bankman or Beckman, whatever his name is, he ran that FTX, that exchange that sold a lot of crypto. He sucked in a lot of celebrities and got a lot of people caught up in a mess and screwed up. Imagine now they got people talking about, all right, if you're in Webull, if you're trading on a Webull app, they're like, you better do your due diligence because imagine having a bunch of stocks and then one day you just decide to try and withdraw your money and you can't get your money out. Yo, I would not want to be that guy, that kid. Somebody's gonna murder. That's what always gets me is how could you defraud people like that and not take a bullet to the head? That's crazy. Because I know that kid ruined people's lives. That's bad. Yeah, you got to be careful because you never know. So who thinks we're going into a recession, and how bad do you think it's going to get? I don't think they know what's coming. How are you going to print all that money? That's what made Bitcoin blast off when our government started devaluing the United States dollar. And what's crazy is Saudi Arabia, for the first time in history, is accepting other currencies as payment for oil. You know, the United States dollar is like the king, like Budweiser is with the beer. I don't know. We gotta be careful with China. I'm not saying nothing bad about China, but this whole pandemic thing, something's brewing. And I don't mean to sound like what do you call it, but it's just the way it is.
Machine repair.
Yeah, I was a machiner. I was a machinist. Let me repair your machine, boo. Let me fix you. Bitcoin has pretty much tanked. You know what? I think now this is not financial advice. I think it's sitting around 21,000. It went all the way down to 15, so it went up like 6,000. This is it went up $6,000 in a month. So I got a feeling it's going back to 42. Remember, I said that it's going to hover around 42 for a while and trade sideways. It's going back to 42. And small cap stocks are going to go on a bull run. They're going to be the first ones to wake up. Small cap stocks are going to be the first ones to start moving. They're already starting to wake up. You just got to be really careful because the market's a freaking mess. I wouldn't recommend it unless you know what you're doing because it's no joke out there now. Play at your own risk.
Goodness, pretty damn good. Larry, what are your favorite YouTube
Oh, I got so many
channels?
channels. Jesus.
How many subscriptions?
I got like 300 subscriptions at least. It's tons of them. Tons. I watch them people build like huts out in the middle of nowheres. I got a bunch of financial people. A lot of them dropped off to financial people because the stock market's not going crazy like it was. I got a bunch of vloggers from the Philippines. I'm subscribed to them, like Tim K, Chrissy K, Overstay Road. Who else?
Philippines.
Crypto Tracker that walks around the Philippines.
Is that
Black Man in the Village. Will is his name. Let's see where else. I mean, just tons and tons of vloggers from the Philippines.
Kuda?
Coda, Koda. That's Boston Filipino. Then Texas Filipino. I mean, like all of them. I'm sub to everybody. Everybody in the Philippines, I'm probably sub to them, except that Kuya, the guy with a bunch of subs. You know what I'm talking about? We were just talking about him. You know what I'm talking about? The guy I said, you know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, next question. Tons. And my YouTube thing is private, who I'm sub to. You know what it is? I just had so many financial things on there. It like got ridiculous in the heat of the battle in the 2020. I got to go through there and like weed some things out. I got a mess going on my YouTube stuff. Have you done well managing your own portfolio?
I heard only 1% manage their own.
I tell you what, I shouldn't even say this. All right, I'm gonna say it. In 9 months, the portfolio was up 300%, and that's all I'm saying. And that doesn't happen. 2020 was once in a lifetime event. When the stock market started to crash and everybody freaked out, I was doing the total opposite. I'm like, damn, Facebook at 137, I'll take some of that. That shit went almost to 400. You see what I'm saying? So a, bl- a blind man could have made money. That's what you got to wait for. You got to have a bunch of money on the side. I know it sounds ridiculous. You got to wait for a once in a lifetime opportunity. It might happen one more time before it's over for all of us. But I tell you what, in 2020, that it just went straight off a cliff. And then you see what happened. It just turned around. And the federal government was pumping money into the stock market to boost it up. That's everybody's pension, annuities, everything. Everybody's like, oh, it's gambling. I said, yo, you're freaking check. If the government didn't prop the stock market up, you wouldn't even be getting a damn check. So nah, it went up. It was ridiculous. Yo, it went up 300% in 9 months. And that's all I'm saying. Be, because Bobby D was like, yeah, I can't believe what's going on. And then an article about, this is where it really started. It was, I, I can't even begin to tell you what happened. The guy that's second in charge of the stock market, I forget his name, he wrote a really bad article about SPACs. That's special acquisition companies. So when SPACs started tanking, I started buying in at the very bottom. And then when Donald Trump came out and used the SPAC as a vehicle to start a company, everything started taking off. That's when my portfolio was up 300%. It was absolute insanity. I never seen nothing like it. Like Schick said, be careful. You got to know what you're doing. And I didn't sell out at the top. I was like picking apples, like this one's right, that one's right. I was just using them. What I should have did, could have, should have, would have. I should have just sold out at the top and totally exited the markets. I'm out, and then wait about a year and watch all the carnage and the damage, and then started re-entering slowly. Patience is the way to do it. If you got a lot of patience, if you got a lot of patience and you trade like a machine, you got to have no emotion. Do a lot of research, try to get like find out what's going on with this company, first hand knowledge. Have people boots on the ground, find out what's really going on with the company. I remember somebody got a tip about a company. Oh, I know who it was. It was what the fuck is the name of that company? It's a clothing company. Not Macy's, not Gimbals, not Saks. I know all them companies went out of business. Oh God, what's the name of it? Oh, it's an old school company. All right. So what happened was this clothing company. Let me look it up right now. I'm gonna tell you. This stock went down to $11 and change a share, and we got a friend that works there. Wait a minute. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Taylor or no, it's not it. Here it is. Nordstrom's. So Nordstrom's went down to I think $11.40 a share when the stock market tanked in 2020. And what they did was they pivoted. They have a good e-commerce shopping part of Nordstrom's, and we had people working in the warehouses and made a couple phone calls, and the guy was like, yo, everybody's working overtime here. So we knew the earnings report was going to be good. And I told a couple people, I said, yo, dude, you got to buy the stock. I said, it's dirt cheap. It's like 11 something. I think we sold out at like 44, something like that. It's crazy amount of money. But it could go the other way. Remember that. You could fucking lose everything. Excuse my French. Go ahead and click the button. Yeah, not too many people. That's the thing nowadays. You gotta let, I don't know if it's only 1% because now you got all these apps and people could, now it doesn't cost as much money. Remember back in the day, it was like $12. Negative Gary buy Bitcoin. Yeah, right. Larry P. You gotta, now it's too late.
Yeah, it's
Now it's too late. It's already up 6,000. You could buy fractional shares too. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. That's another thing. You could buy fractional shares. So you can invest 1,000, you can invest 500. It's better to be in it than not. It 2% to maybe 4%, somewhere's in that range of your portfolio should be cryptocurrency, maybe Ethereum, maybe Bitcoin, and you got to get it when things like what just happened when that crypto exchange just basically collapsed and the kid was doing crazy trades, super risky trades. People were like hacking all kinds of shit's coming out. Like all this money's missing. Basically, the kid was just out of control and he's going to play like he's stupid. His dad is a college professor. I wonder if his parents were involved in it because we're talking about huge, like, how does President Trump say huge amounts of money? I mean, like ridiculous amounts of money. Wall Street don't care. Wall Street don't care about nobody, yo. They're freaking ruthless. I mean, it's bad.
sorry, Bobby. Have you been in a new charger 800 HP? It's crazy
Not
fast.
yet. Not yet. On the Hellcat, right? That Hellcat's no joke.
You mean Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme for criminals, but in 3 to 5 years it will regain legitimacy, and be at
Two hundred
$250K
fifty thousand dollars.
dollars.
I don't know about a Ponzi scheme. It's got a legitimate use case scenario.
Ponzi scheme. Saudi Arabia will determine the fate of the petrodollar.
Exactly.
Though they currently are taking gold for payment, not a good sign.
Yep. Yo, they're running the show. They basically own our asses. Remember that guy that went into the who was the reporter that was chopped up in pieces and the United States pretended like it didn't even happen. That's pretty bad. You know they got a lot of pull when the king or the prince, and that's somebody was asking my nationality. There's a picture of my father. He's got that white thing on his head, and he's got that black thing that's twisted with the gold in it, and he's got the tassel hanging down on one side. He's in Louisville, Kentucky, and he's on a black horse. I think we're Persian. I get really tan in the summertime.
Are you
No,
subs to Mike?
no. Yo, that's funny you said that. No,
But
I'm
you
not.
watch his video.
Yeah, I had to watch his video. Him and yo, all right, the regular guy came on during the live stream and y'all started attacking him. Mac just blew him out of water. Mac called him a fruitcake, and I was like, "What's a fruitcake?" I started laughing. I said, "Oh shit!" I'm laughing now. Think about it, just the word fruitcake. That's like a Jersey thing or a United States thing. Somebody said he was a fruitcake. All right, I got nothing bad to say about anybody. Mike, regular guy, whatever. They're all good.
I like Cryptus
I want
Ross. Cryptus Ross with George. Oh, George.
George. I don't know. Crypto. Okay, Crypto Russ with George.
Ross.
All right, I'm gonna check out his channel. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm fortunate none of my retirement is tied to the stock market. I get a cola every
Yeah, they get a cost of living allowance. That's good.
What is that? Cryptos was this year it was 8.7%.
That's not bad. 8.7. That's not bad. Yeah, I tell you what, listen to this. What I know now, if I all right, here's the should the if is the two letters in the middle of the word life. What I know now, had I known that in 2020, I'd be flying around in a helicopter. And I'm not even kidding because it was too easy. It was a joke. That's why you always got to have a chunk of change on the side and be ready for when there's a disaster. Yo, that market went down so fast. And I mean, stocks were literally cut more than half. I mean, like down 70, 80%, some of them. And we're talking about blue chip companies. I mean, the bottoms were falling out. It, it was like a domino effect. And when it was triggering the stop losses and the algorithms, now you got computers trading and it's not like it used to be. So you could have turned 250,000 into $3 million. I mean, a blind man could have did it. It's easy. So hopefully to have another catastrophe and Bobby D will be sitting there on the sideline just waiting. I'll jump all over it. I'll knock a hole in it. Be like, Isla would be like, how are we driving around in this new car like this? I'll be like, don't even worry about it. Wait, go back to the last one.
Laurie, I thought colas are automatically adjusted in any pension. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they every year it depends on the government. It goes up. Social Security got the biggest raise, and yeah, the feds. Gary, what's that thing about the government is trying to balance the budget and something about the federal it was federal something postal workers something package was delayed or something and I was like, oh man, that's they're talking about dad's pension. That figures. That shit is so out of whack. The what do you call it, the deficit? Come on, man. When they took the gold standard away, they used to have gold in Fort Knox, supposedly, to back up every dollar that was printed. And I remember my grandfather came home from work and I never seen him mad like this. Grandma was like trying to hide me from Jim. She said, oh, something really bad happened. I said, what happened? She said, the price of gold tanked. He worked for the IRS. So you would think he would have like the inside knowledge that they were going to do away with the gold standard. I guess it made the price of gold tank. He came home, man. He was in a bad mood for a month. I said, oh, man, he must have had a lot of money invested in gold. And I guess he didn't get the tip off that that was coming, or he didn't believe it, or some people don't know when to sell. They like freeze up, like, like, yo, you better do something. Like, you can't. Hesitation kills in the market. I mean, it just, you lose everything. So, in the 1990s, had an investment in
Should
Jed Oil. It
took
took
off
off
like
like
bandits.
bandits. They did investors conference call. I would listen. Yeah, you got to listen in a call. That's another thing. You always got to listen to the conference calls. I could tell it was in disarray. There you go. They were selling office. Oh shit. So you made some money though, right? Damn. That's what happens. Yo, the energy stocks this year, ooh, like I mean, they went up. Like President Trump said, huge. They went up huge. And then there's a couple stocks that just exploded. They're up thousands, freaking thousands of percent, and they're energy stocks. It's like energy stocks only go up like that, like there's, what is that, reciprocal. They only go up, like you got Russia triggering the oil war and all this other stuff. Price of gas goes up, bam, and then the oil prices. The minute you hear stuff like that, you got to jump on it.
Also, Saudi financial holdings are over 1.4 trillion. UAE wealth is comparable and they stopped producing oil years ago. OPEC has been negotiating with Putin in China.
Yeah, things are not good. Who thinks there might be a World War III? I am not looking forward to that. Imagine that. I couldn't even imagine it. Not all pensions are adjusted with COLA. 401ks are not. Yeah, you guys got a big ass increase. But look at inflation. I remember the Fed, Jerome Powell kept saying it was transitory, it's transitory. And then all of a sudden they started jacking interest rates. It was free money for too long. Most pension plans are market based. Yeah, because that's where the money's at. Healthcare, energy, and financial stocks seem to be the talk today. Yes, definitely healthcare and energy for sure. It's too late though. I wouldn't touch like if they're talking about it, it's already too late. You got to get in way before they start talking about it. You start buying that stuff at 52-week highs, and then they pull the plug or something happens, you're out of gas. You got to figure that out on your own. That's the best feeling. There's no better feeling than doing your own research, and then people are like, "Well, why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "Yo, just back off a minute." And they're like, "Damn, dude." Like, there you go. Made a bunch of money, went to Vegas, met my ex-wife. Damn.
Married her and lost it all.
You didn't need to marry her, bro. I wish I knew you back then, Gary Johnson. I would have talked you out of it. And you probably would have wound up fighting. You would have been like, "Man, I love her." I'd be like, "No, you don't. You think you love her." I don't know. All I gotta say is be careful online and be careful with Filipinas and letting just don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. I just pictured myself laying in bed with about 50 naked women. I really shit don't even phase me. I don't even care. Yo, I had the haters talk about if he was in New Jersey, he'd be with a welfare chick with 3 kids and this and that, and she would be fat and ugly. I said, "Damn, y'all just threw me under the bus." I said, "That's terrible. Always had a halfway decent looking girl. Come on now." It's, they threw me under the bus. I'm starting to get a cramp. That's what you ever get when you get old. You just get like random cramps and then some. Oh no. Gary Johnson.
That's one best money ever.
All right. How long did it take? Can I ask a personal question? How long did that divorce take? And how much money did it cost? Shit. Gary hates that bitch. He
Divorce.
should have fucking poisoned her.
Maybe he loved
All right, let me stop talking. I could just imagine getting locked up over this
so much.
conspiracy. Yo, listen to this. I know a guy in Florida, and his brother was something to do with automatic weapons or guns or something. And just because he knew, they charged him. They gave him like 20 years. And the brother that had the automatic weapons, they gave him like half the time. And I'm like, "Damn, bro." He's like, "Oh, I had a public pretender, a beat attorney." I said, "Oh my God." So yeah, you got to watch what you talk about nowadays. People are like, "Oh, we heard you talking on the internet." I'm like, "Blow some smoke up my ass. I ain't doing shit. I'm a crippled dude in a bed with a beautiful chick and a couple of angels floating around. That's what I'm doing. What are y'all gonna do?" And then I got the whistleblower back in New Jersey. He's in for an eye opener. He went and told on me. That's pathetic. Over something stupid. I can't help you. It already seems World War III because so many countries are contributing funds and weapons. Yep. But sadly, everyone is so afraid that Putin will push the button. Only the Ukrainians are sacrificing so much. Yeah, they ain't putting up with no shit, man. I don't know. The way they spin it, I don't know. Joe Biden's in charge, right? You know what? The president's never really in charge anyway.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. And would they find a bunch of paperwork in the garage? Mom had to tell me about the whole thing. I was just like, I got a mem. You guys know what a mem? It's like a picture and it's got like a saying. It had Joe Biden's son in there with a crack pipe and a big flame shooting out. It was in a dozen eggs, so it was like an egg carton open, and there was 12 of Joe Biden's son with the crack pipe with the big flame shooting out of his pipe, and it said, "Gee, I've never seen the price of eggs so high." And I thought it was funny. I sent it to mom, and then mom was like, "Did you hear? It's all over the news. There's papers in the garage. It's secret." I said, "Mom, I don't even watch the television anymore. Since I got to the Philippines, I haven't watched American news one time. I'm usually on the internet, and for some reason, it's the algorithm. If you don't look at news, you don't see news. So I don't look up no political shit. So nothing comes up on my feed." And I'm like, "What they find in the basement?" And I said, "Yo, that was a kid." And then I told mom, I said, "You know, the reason that war started in Ukraine was because a bunch of shady business people, Hunter Biden included, went over there to make a bunch of money really quick and get their hooks in the people and use his daddy's name. They're the ones that caused the war because Putin's a freaking KGB agent. You see the way that man walks? His left, I think it's his left arm, that shit don't even move. That dude is programmed since he was 18 or 16, like 16 years old. The government of Russia recruited him and brainwashed him. That dude is a fucking machine. He said, "I'm coming in," and everybody was like, "Oh, he's not coming in." That dude's coming in. If he says he's coming in, he's coming in. Our president, "Oh, go over there and do something to see what's going to happen." He ain't going to do shit. Yo, that's one thing and mom was screaming at me, "What do you like, Putin?" I said, "No, but they never tell you the reason why the war started to begin with." I said, "It's over this." I said, "All these fucking politicians and shit and people with connections are over there in the oil and the gas industry and with the Ukraine was like one of the most corrupt places on earth. And they've been fighting that war for 14 years, and Putin's has had it with this shit. So that's what it is. And everybody's like watching the news. "Oh, you're a bad guy, Robert. You like Putin." I said, I can't stand none of them. They all suck. Line them motherfuckers up against a wall and gun all them motherfuckers. All of them. Get rid of all of them. That's what the problem is. I work for count it, two politicians, and they both told me the same thing. I couldn't get anything done. And I said, "Why?" Because of the people that have been in there for so long. It's like when you're in high school, you're in junior high, and there's seniors in there. They got the pull. They tell you how to vote, a special interest. People control you like a puppet on a string. They'll let you vote your way maybe once or twice. You're not do all this stuff that you're out. "Oh, I'm going to change this and I'm going to do that." My lady Elizabeth, I love you if you're listening, Elizabeth. I lived on a farm. I worked for a politician. Mom knows about it. I'm not saying the last name because I'm not a name dropper. So anyway, I said, "What sticks out in your head the most?" She said, "I feel so bad All that stuff I talked about that I ran on, I can't get none of it done. And I'm like, why not? She said, because of the senior politicians, I got to vote a certain way. They tell me how to vote. That shit's rigged. You're not getting away with shit. It's them old fuckers at the top that are running the show, and they're not letting go of it. You seen what they did to Trump? He started shaking that shit up like the Christmas globe, causing that snow to sort of storm blowing. Yo, everything started falling apart. Now the FBI's running the country. Look what they're doing to Twitter. They got like a ghost crew in Twitter reporting everything back to the FBI. Now, who's running the show now? What is it, J. Edgar Hoover put them in place? You think you know what's going on in the news? Fox News is an entertainment company. It's not a fucking news agency. They are under no obligation to tell you the truth. That's what gets me so mad. I got a relative, and that it's on all day, blasting. And I'm like, yo, you're just believing all these lies. Don't listen to the bullshit. That's why I don't listen to it no more. It's stupid. They don't tell you the truth. They make up the story. It's a business. All right, let me stop. I'm done with my rant. I think I just shaved about 6 months off my life. Next question. Oh, all right, well, stop. It took about a year to get a divorce. We didn't have any kids. Okay. We didn't own any property. That's a good thing. Together, so it wasn't that much. About 8,000 for the water, and then some money out of my. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. He got a bad taste in his mouth, though. It's gonna be all right, Gary. Well, I just went off the deep end, didn't I? About politics and the war and all this stuff. It's terrible. The part is that pissed me off is because she never contributed any money during the same time we were together to the 401k. Yep, there you go. That's the divorce laws. She was a domestical engineer with the big boobs. I didn't think World War III would happen in a nuclear war. Man, I don't like the contamination part of that. The contamination part of that, that radioactivity, yo, that's a bad way to die. You know how sick, how nauseous you feel, and you're burning up from the inside out? Nagasaki, Hiroshima, my goodness. And it's happened once already. Do you feel safe so close to the South China Sea? And yeah, right?
CBE.
I tell you what,
CN.
I'll be laying in a bed full of naked women with a big ass gun talking about come get me. Maybe with some shabu shabu burning in the pipe. When it's going down, it's going down. I'm killing anybody that comes through the door. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. I don't want to see that. That's why I told Isla. There was a guy on the internet. Who's the black dude with the bad toes? The Campbell family. He said he didn't want to leave his wife because he needed to be home to protect her in case Xi Jinping started acting up. And I'm thinking, what is this? What is he gonna do? How are you gonna fight the Chinese off? Yo, they got so many. They take over the Philippines like it's a joke from the inside out. They got people here, believe me when I tell you. Chinese are no joke. I love my Chinese people. I pray to God. I pray to God that we never, ever, ever see World War III with a bunch of big countries going at it. Mm-mm. No dice on that one. I'll be so mad. The lawyer said I can either give it to her and to me, so I gave it to her. The lawyer said I can either give it to her and to me, so I gave it to her. Needed to give it to her. I can't tell you what I'm thinking, but you already know. I didn't think Putin was going to invade. Oh, come on now. Yo, when he said that, I knew he was going in. I didn't think Putin was going to invade, but when he did, now I don't think he'll be dumb enough to push the button. This is what scared me. Somebody said he had cancer. I just put my hand on my head just like I'm doing now. I said, oh my God, I hope they're wrong. I think it was Nancy Pelosi and her drunk ass on the pills, too. Shit. Look at her trading portfolio. She'll buy stocks and then pass laws about like telecommunications or whatever it is. They're all fucking criminals. Yeah, but you know what? They'll go after a little guy, right? Like Bobby did for insider trading or something stupid. Like somebody gave me a tip. I was always taught politicians should represent the people. Yeah, man. They things are so out of whack. But when they're asked a question, it's what's your yeah,
Position.
it's bad, man. They can't. I realize they can't keep everybody happy, but what's up with the lies? That's the thing. Like I just explained, Gary, you might be a junior senator or congressperson. You're running for the first time. Your goal is to get to the Congress or Senate and try and make a change, make the world a better place. But when they get there, they're in for a rude awakening, man. That's what my boss, Scouts Honor. I work for a congresswoman, and this lady, let me tell you something. This lady was one of the coolest people you ever want to meet. She was a sweetheart. She didn't lie. I would trust this lady with my life in a second. She was a very, very good person, good morals, good values, and she was legitimately pissed off. Like we had to talk her. She had like a Honda Accord because she was like an older hippie. She considered herself a hippie. And if you saw the house, my mom saw it. She knows about it. They lived out in the woods, man, in this looked like a gingerbread house. And she was like, I'll drive the Honda in the parade. And we're like, yo, we got to rent you a Cadillac, a convertible, and you got to be sitting on the back. I don't want to do all that because it was like flashy, right? Oh, I'm just saying the first name, Elizabeth. She was a great lady, and this lady wanted to do big things. And I'm pro environment. I guess I'm a tree hugger, but I don't know. They were building the hydroelectric dams in. Now I'm going to tell you where it was at. You're going to know who it is. It was ruining the rivers. I'm not giving it away who it was. So she was fighting for legitimate stuff. And I don't know. Nothing was going her way. It's sad, man. It's really sad. You can't change nothing. It's hard to get it done. You know who can change things like Elon Musk of the world, the Jeff Bezos, the people that forget about them for a minute, the people that own the banks. You want to make a change? Get those people making some changes. They'll get everybody's attention real quick. They can make the changes. They got no motivation to change anything because they're getting off on what's going on right now. The more we suffer, the richer they get. Never once have I heard them say, I, yeah, and the one that didn't they put a bullet in his head? Not, don't ask what your country can do for you. All right, somebody refresh my memory. What you can do for your country, and then the gun goes off, right?
Oh, sorry. But I'm old.
See, it's where I grew up. I don't mind those guys, and they're all good with me. So, who do you think's controlling the union and everything? So, if Kennedy was shaking it up with the wrong people and Hoffa and them, they knew what they were doing. You can't. you can only mess around with certain people so much before shit goes wrong. You're taking a big chance. Isn't that crazy how Jack Rudy or whatever his name, the cop, he shot Oswald while in custody? Come on now. And nobody thinks that's strange. And that dude popped off a shot like it was a pretty good shot. I felt bad for Kennedy, man. My grandfather really liked him. His freaking head came off. His wife, Jacqueline, was there. He was a womanizer. He was like me when I was young. That's why I never got married. It was okay. Gary said, it's okay. It was 12 years. Damn, bro. That shit seemed like it was 12 minutes ago. I just heard the gun. The gun's still smoking. Are you sure you want to marry me? Cuckoo. There you go. Good rant, Bobby D. Love it. All right, Mark. Somebody's got to do it. I don't want to lose subs, though. You know what I mean? Look, it's down to 16 already. I think they heard the F-bomb, and that was it. I can't take it anymore. Click. That's what the problem is with the world. Everybody's politically correct. They're soft. Oh, you can't do that. You can't. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Can't yell at your kids. Yo, I had Dyfus on my front porch because I yelled at someone's kids. And I'm just like, yo, what is that? They said verbal abuse, sir. I was like, wow. It was terrible. As for the Russian army, history shows they don't back down from war until they lose 500,000 men. We have a long way to go. That's sad, man. That's a lot of unnecessary loss of life. Russian chicks are hot. That's terrible. I just said that too. The money. The lawyer said I could pay him and her or just her. Fucking lawyers are scumbags. They are, man. I don't care. They help out sometimes, but it's just all with technology we have to do. They can do online. Yeah, polling.
Or whatever, whatsoever the majority.
Exactly.
Whether they could vote that way.
But you think that'll ever happen? It'll be a cold day in hell before that happens. Maybe 25 years from now. Have you seen the Angels clip? I used to watch that show constantly.
Charlie's Angels.
Isla's been watching it.
We are.
I had Ray Raimi watching it. And all right, this is what we got to do. We got to DA. This is what we got to do. The intro video for Bobby's Angels, I need to call each angel individually, Pumpkin included, and say, it's Bobby. Hi, Isla. I have a mission for you. You need to stop what you're doing and report for work. And then you say,
What is that?
Then you just start laughing. I hang up on you and I call back.
Time for work.
There you go. Oh my God. Time for a new mission. Time to report to Bobby's office. But that guy Bosley, you never saw that guy. Or the Bosley was the guy you saw, and then I watched Charlie's Angels for years. Wonder Woman, Batman, all them crazy shows back in the day. Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. Just all them shows. Wonderama.
Wonder Woman.
Space Ghost. What's the one called here? That Narnia? Not Darna. They got like a fake Wonder Woman over here in the Philippines. You know what's crazy about the Philippines? They copy everything. Instead of Nabisco crackers, it's Rubisco. Everything that we have in America, the Philippines has it, and it's like a knockoff. So we got Wonder Woman, and they got, what is it?
Dorna.
Darna, and the costume is like identical. Think about it. The American, I think it was the American politicians or presidents were on Philippine money in the 1940s. Go look up Philippine money 1940s, and you're going to see Americans on the money because of the military was here. That's what it is. Same thing with like Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 9 years, and I tell you what, the military has a presence in the Hawaiian Islands like no other. I got in trouble one time, and one five-star general just boop, he made one phone call and everything just it just went away like instantly. He was looking out for me. It was something stupid, but I was impressed. They got a lot of pull. The American government, I don't know, Duterte didn't like. He's always talking shit about the United States, like, oh, I don't need no help. I don't need no help. Let China start like coming in over here. Who's he gonna call? Ghostbusters? Please. Need to get one of those old speaker phones. Exactly. Have the girls giggling over the speaker. Exactly. You got it. DA, you hit it. You hit the nail right on the head. Exactly. Have them scantily clad, dress real sexy. Just like a remake of the original Charlie's Angels. Same thing. Great idea. Now I got to go find one of those phones. They don't have garage sales over here. I know if we look around, we could find anything. You could find anything in the Philippines. If you got money, you could find it. If I took a picture of that and put that on Facebook, what's that where you sell stuff? Facebook Marketplace. If I said looking for this item, one of them old things that we were just talking about, it would pop up instantly. Somebody would have one because you just know somebody's got a junk shop with that stuff in it.
Yeah, junk shop.
It's weird that millions of voters, yet every election is just so close. We always have Congress, just a couple of people on the way or other. It's,
Oh,
oh yeah. Mom keeps asking, Larry, mom keeps asking me the same thing. That shit's rigged. It's sad, but it's true. What freaked me out is I started thinking about professional baseball and football. Some of the college games were rigged. But what about like the big games? I started thinking maybe that's rigged too. All right, let me stop thinking about it. It's making my head hurt. Imagine how much money they can make if it was rigged, if they knew the outcome. God. So listen, if we were running a show, Larry, what would we do? If we had billions of dollars, would we rig it or would we just let it ride? All right, next question. What time is it? Oh, I keep getting this pain. 14 in here. Thank you for 14 people. Don't forget to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I promise you're not going to get a bill. If you do, I'll pay for it. How's that? Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. They'll say when they click on, I don't want to watch the commercials on YouTube. Click. Bobby said he's buying. I'd be like, oh no. Listen, it doesn't cost anything, but you got to watch the commercials. That's that's how they pay for YouTube. And like I was talking earlier before I blew up about the war and everything, it's data mining. They finding out where you shop, where you eat, what your customs are, what you like, what you don't like, who you talk to, what you do every single minute of every day. And they have a file. Don't believe me? Look up on Google Facebook file, my information. All right, so the FBI could have a file, the police department could have a file on you. Facebook is on like every phone until recently. Google put the kibosh on it and said, listen, we're not letting you get away with this shit no more. which damaged the stock, and then the metaverse isn't coming out the way Mark wanted it. It's going to be a while. I tell you what, though, he's on to something big. Augmented reality with the glasses and putting on goggles. This is my only thing. At first, it's going to be bulky. Who wants to wear those big ass goggles? You look like a fruitcake and you probably get a headache from staring at the screens inside, but you feel like you're inside the computer. They're going to be able to get it where you take a contact lens and put that on your eye, and you're going to go inside the computer like you're in the freaking Matrix. I don't know if they're going to plug something into you. You got Neuralink with Elon Musk. They're putting chips in people's heads. It's coming. I'm not even kidding. It makes sense to me. If I had billions of dollars, I'd probably find a way to go to Mars. Sound familiar? Exactly. Because what else are you going to do? Where are you going? You know what I mean? Mars. If I was king for today. But once you get there, right? Hmm?
You probably regret because you can't breathe.
I said you can't breathe. I'd be like, baby, help me. Blow me some air. Blow me some air. Elon's going to put himself in charge. People say he's an alien.
Elon.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Elon Musk.
He's got Asperger's syndrome a little bit. All them gazillionaires and genius people have no luck with women. And mom was saying he went out with a girl that Johnny Depp or whoever was having a problem in court. I just laughed. I said, well, he's not known for his womanizing skills. He's known for landing rockets on barges out in the middle of the ocean, shit like that. And the PayPal mafia in the beginning, how he got started. The next time, all right, the next move is here. Yeah, already on the same page. The next move is digital identification that will progress to social credit scores like China. Yep. Then digital. Oh, yeah, exactly. But we're crazy, Larry, right? They already got the digital currency in China. And you don't think once they take away the paper currency, that's what the pandemic was about. They had a change shortage. Like when they got a change shortage, they wanted to take in as much money. Like they switched the money back. I got $100 bill from my grandmother. And if I show it to somebody, they say, what the hell is that? I said, yo, you had 3 weeks or a couple months to change, to turn in your currency to the bank. Otherwise, it was no good. And people are like, really? They did that? Look it up, Google it. So they're going to have to create something so profound where you don't want to touch money. Oh, shit, I can't touch the money. Maybe it's going to be another pandemic, but they're going to associate, they're going to hype it on the news that this person touched the money and then touched their face, and then like a whole bunch of people died from that. They can't just come out and say, turn in your cash. There's gonna be something that's gonna make everybody think. It's like sheep. You can't just tell everybody to turn in their money and it's only good for a couple months. That it don't work that way no more. That's manipulation, and people don't realize your ass is being manipulated. And I'm sure the FBI got a file on me. I'm just like, yo, this is so much bullshit. This pandemic, I was so pissed. I was pissed. Like, I was like, yo, I realized people died. And I feel bad. I feel bad. Shit, I had it twice. My mother could have died. My father could have died. They didn't need, they're always up to something. Remember that. The government is not your effing friend. They're always up to something. You look at 9/11, and what did they do with the laws? Your privacy, right before the cell phones came out. They don't need no wiretap from no damn judge to listen to everything you say and got voice recognition on computers. Your ass like a fucking terrarium. Come on, man. United States, I bet you there'll be a civil war in this country. You got too many people with guns. What? God forbid they ever try to take away the guns. I'll be like, I'm glad I'm in the Philippines. It's not even funny. No, because I got a lot of. I would probably try to fly back to the United States if there was a revolution. Because I got a feeling, man, someday soon we won't watch on YouTube. We will pop in a contact lens and sit in the room with you. Yeah, exactly. How about the suit they got, the haptic suit where you could feel the sense of touch? How about like a second skin? It's like a giant condom, like a second skin. They got the gloves where you could pick things up in the metaverse and move it around and touch things. Augmented reality in the metaverse is what it's the next stage of computers. Think about it. We're about as far as it goes when it comes to staring at a flat screen. Or, all right, you got to take the phone out of your pocket. You got to take the phone out of your pocket. So you could put the phone down. What they want to do something where you can't put it down. I'm all right, listen, fellas. I'm so guilty. How many people we got in here? 13?
15.
15? I'm so guilty of it. Looking at that phone hours upon hours a day. It's bad. That shit is not healthy. And the old school people out there that say, oh, I'm not bringing that phone with me, where they don't answer the phone and everybody's screaming and yelling at them, more power to you. If you're out in the woods, like John Schikowsky said, it's a tool, but don't get carried away with it. When Schick said that, I was like, thank God. He's always been a teacher. He just didn't know it because he was teaching me stuff. I mean, like everything about nature, animals, everything, fishing, you name it. The way life is, Schick's been teaching and just didn't know it since day one. You'll see him in here. He's got the picture of the silverback attack gorilla. That's his call sign. Going to get going. Take care, Bobby D and I. All right, Gary. Stay positive, bro, and God bless you. Be back next week, same time, same place. Don't touch that dial. Say something.
Thank you, guys, for your time.
Thank you, Ben.
How many minutes more? We're
All right, about another 15. I'm starting to fade out.
12:57.
Wow. What time did we start?
3 hours, 33 minutes,
Wow.
19 seconds. Do you know who James Corbett is with the Corbett Report? Do you know who is that?
Larry P.
Corbett.
Do you know who James Corbett is with Corbett Report? Sounds familiar. Remember that name. And we're
Corbett.
going to look it up. I'm going to check it out, Larry, when I get off of the live stream. We're going to go about another 15 minutes. What time is it? I know you just told me and I forgot. It's like 3 minutes.
12:50.
We're going to go to 5 minutes after. So we got 8 minutes. I think. If my math's not wrong. Remember that name, James Corbett. Yeah, that's familiar. James Corbett.
Probably phone.
I read so much stuff, Larry. My mind is like saturated.
Good night, Bobby D, and time for sleep tanks.
All right, Marcus. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the help, man. Thank you, bro. Sleep tight, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Good dreams.
What time is it? Oh, it's 11 there.
Mhm.
Hello.
Drinking his sugar water.
Is this
Isla, yeah. Isla, tell you, I usually it's 1/4 Gatorade, 3/4 water. I dilute this. So this bottle right here will make like a 2 gallons of stuff to drink because that just causes
Wow.
UTIs. Brooklyn Charlie, thank you for the advice, bro. You're right about the fermented food and the kimchi or the sauerkraut and that grass, that green stuff. I used to drink that stuff, and man, I used to give me a lot of energy. For real. I used to put 2 scoops in the morning and 1 scoop at night. It was like it tasted like grass too. It literally tasted like lawn cuttings, but it was good. Anybody got any questions? My gasoline tank is almost empty. My tank is shot.
Larry, if you like books, order with me with new book about the mafia and the USA. She dropped a ton of names involving Epstein.
Oh shit, really? Wow.
With no with
Epstein. Yeah, dude, I tell you what, you'd be surprised. I had somebody calling me Epstein. I think it was Gary was busting my balls one day. I thought it was funny. Because I'm like, yo, there's one guy was calling me a pedophile for real though. And I got pissed. I'm like, I know Isla's old enough to be my daughter and all this other shit. And what would I think if I had a daughter and some old dude just came along and be like, yo, I just want to bang your daughter? I'd be like, what? Are you kidding me? But I take good care of Isla, the family, everybody, man. Everybody. So and I'm not going to be around much longer. I told Isla, learn as much as you can from me. I'm going to try to set you up as best as I can. Help my mother out and dad if you can. And I'm out. I'm done because I'm not going to be around forever. So everybody's like, oh, she's going to take this and do that. I'm going to be in the cemetery pushing up daisies, and it's not going to be that long from now. I hate to tell you the truth, but I've had an infection for like 5 years of my life, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So I made up my mind that I was going to go out with a bang. And I'm not even kidding when I said that. Mom was saying, you know, those damn guns. I said, nah, man, I want to be like with some real pretty women. I don't care. So I already explained it to Isla. I said, look, that's the way it is. I ain't never been married. I got mad respect for my wife. She is super smart. How many years of college?
one.
1 year of college. People said you'll never have anything to talk about with that girl. I could talk about anything. I talk about financial instruments, um, all kind, just you name it, stock charts, Fibonacci lines, Bollinger Bands, RSI indicators. This one right here, boop, she gets it. She's freaking smart. I'm talking like real smart, smarter than I. I wouldn't have married her. She's up in the 2 percentile smart, and nobody wants to be in the Mensa smartness level because usually when you're that smart, something else is out of whack. If you know what I mean. Mensa's 154 IQ and above. You don't want to be that smart.
Oh, say goodbye now.
All right, folks. I'm throwing in the towel. All right, Melvin, you hang strong, man. Hey, Melvin, take some pictures of that trip and post them on the internet. I want to see what it looked like. I want to see what you were doing. Make some videos too. My little brother Melvin's in here from Brooklyn, New York. Hey, remember this? The Bronx. Black and gold never fold. I got a bunch of Latin King friends down there. A bunch of thugs, right? Black and gold never fold. Because I know Melvin's Puerto Rican. He probably like, what the hell's Bobby D talking about? Tremont and Webster Avenue. I used to go down there and hang out on a corner, and they'd be playing dominoes in the summer. Everybody thought I was a cop. Last time I went down there, I had my leather jacket on. This was years ago. This kid dumped a bunch of, I don't know, cocaine baggies in the potato chip rack and a big ass handgun. And I'm watching them. I said, what the fuck are you doing? They all started walking to the back of the store. I said, there's no way out back there. And the guy goes, who the fuck are you? And then my buddy Al walked in. And I said, look at all them drugs in the potato chip rack. And there's a fucking piece. Al reached in there and grabbed the gun. He goes, where'd you get this? I said, let me see that. And then I'm touching the gun. I said, oh, fuck, now my fingerprints are on it. They thought I was a cop, man. Thank God I'm not a cop. Like I told Lipko, they don't have enough space. They don't have enough space. I couldn't do that. Firefighter. All right, Melvin. Be good, bro. I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great night. It's late over there now. Everybody else, God bless you. Wait a minute. Go back to that one right there. Roger and Provincial Life Living in the Philippines. Right there. Click on that. Someday soon we won't. Okay. Absolutely. You got it. Someday the Matrix, someday we're just going to plug that thing into the back of your neck. Once that thing hits your spinal column, and you're going to be right in there. Think about it. Everything you think and feel, it's your spinal cord. If you could plug something into that and make it go somewhere, the Matrix makes a lot of sense. If you look at my Facebook page, my other Facebook page, not the one for Bobby's Angels, I got one movie, my favorite movie, The Matrix, and it's not because it's the greatest movie. It's because of what it's about. And one book called Cosmic Consciousness by Maurice L. Buck. It's the evolution of the human mind and where we're going. And I don't agree with everything in the book because there's some racist statements in there. But this book was written in like 1901, I think. People were thinking different back then. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
Peace out. Until next time, we'll be back next week. I promise.